All right, Chris, the big house in Ann Arbor is packed to the rafters. Over 105,000 will watch number 25 Northwestern invade the Michigan Wolverines' home turf. And Michigan comes in with a perfect mark of 5-0. Number 7 in the country as they come down the tunnel. They've won 19 straight over the Wildcats of Northwestern. And Lloyd Carr, their first-year head coach, has them with a perfect record and fired up in a Big Ten game today, though they'll go against a Northwestern team of Gary Barnett's that is not a normal Northwestern team. Likewise, in the top 25, 3-1, could be 4-0, and they're off to their best mark since 1962. A big game in the Big Ten with Northwestern and Michigan. We're just about set from Ann Arbor, but before we kick it off, let's send it back to Mike Tirico.
Okay, Brad, this is really the day when a lot of conference play gets going. We have a Big Ten game here, Big Ten game also going on between Penn State and Ohio State. How did the Nittany Lions bounce back from the loss to Wisconsin last week? Third drive of the game after an exchange of punts. Penn State's John Whitman caps off a 60-yard march with a 3-yard score. Penn State scored on 17 of their 19 red zone trips. North Carolina leads Virginia, the team whose only loss is to Michigan. In the Big East, Pitt and BC, important game for both of those teams just underway. A Donovan McNabb touchdown pass as Syracuse up. Another Big Ten game we'll keep an eye on, that game in Lansing. Our schedule today here on ESPN. After this game, the college football scoreboard, then we'll take you live to the Napa Valley for second-round coverage of the Trans-America Senior PGA Tour event. Sports Center, then we'll have the residents in college football scoreboard and send it back down to Tallahassee from Miami at Florida State. And we have time to put the day in perspective on the scoreboard and Sports Center, and baseball tonight recaps the pennant race, or the postseason games, I should say. In Ann Arbor, a live look at the Wolverines ready to touch the Big M Club banner taking the field. Kickoff is next.
A series that dates back to 1892, 58th meeting between Northwestern and Michigan as the Wildcats take the field, the number 25 team in the country, against the 7th-ranked Wolverines of Michigan. Welcome back to Ann Arbor, everybody. Brad Nessler and Gary Danielson. Here's a Michigan team unbeaten at 5-0 on their second quarterback of the year already, and in Brian Greasy, they have another leader.
Well, I think they do. Lloyd Carr was going to play Brian Greasy without an injury to Scott Dreisbach, but now he's taken over this football team. You're going to see a very cocky, confident, and efficient quarterback. Brian Greasy has a lot of weapons on this football team, similar to what Penn State had a year ago with Toomer and Hayes and a very outstanding tight end in Jay Remersmount, like a Kevin Brady. Kyle Brady, they have three weapons that they can really keep teams off balance. I think you'll see them use them all today, and they'll give them plenty of problems, Brad.
The weather may be a bit of a problem, too, as we have partly cloudy skies. The rain has just started to drift in. 57 degrees. Talked to Bo Schembechler a moment ago. He said it's a perfect day for football. We should play 2. Gary Barnett and a resurgent Northwestern team, 3-1. The first time they've had a 3-1 record since 1963. And you can see the last time they won at Michigan, Elvis was just starting to swivel his hips. Northwestern won the toss and deferred, and Lloyd Carr's Michigan Wolverines will touch it first as he huddles his troops around him. Former defensive coordinator, and now the head man here in Ann Arbor. Sam Valancizi will tee it up for the Wildcats. And look out back deep. Mercury in a bottle in shoulder pads, and Mercury Hayes flanked by Amani Toomer. And as Gary said, we'll see a lot of those guys today, including touching the ball first to start the game.
But you can't kick away from both of them back there, Brad.
Right. Both teams 1-0 in the Big Ten. Northwestern having beaten Indiana a week ago 31-7. And Michigan's Big Ten win was over Illinois. From Ann Arbor, number 7 and number 25. And Amani Toomer will shag it at the goal line and bring it out. Trying to cut to the outside and got the corner. Nice job, though. Zizi, the kicker, somehow made a shoestring tackle on Amani Toomer, a 25-yard return. And Michigan offensively will come out under the leadership of Brian Greasy, as Gary talked about. And with him, Tim Biakabatuka, still trying to get his shoulder back to 100%. Joins him in the backfield. Chris Floyd is the fullback. The wide receivers, they've been doubling up a lot on Amani Toomer. That's opened up Mercury Hayes to lead the club in catches, yards, and touchdowns. Toomer and Riemersma join the wide receiver and tight end core. Joe Marinero, co-captain, leads the group up front with Jansen, Payne, Adali, and Runyon. And a first down, Michigan, from its own 24-yard line. Biakabatuka, left side. Biakabatuka got about 6 out to the 30-yard line against the Northwestern defense led by Casey Daly up front. He leads them in sacks and tackles for loss, along with Roby Rice and Warren. Pat Fitzgerald's the leading tackler, the inside linebacker, with Sutter and Shine. And in the secondary, Eric Collier, the leading tackler in the secondary, joined Martin, Ray, and Bennett. Second down at 4. 3 wide-out group for Michigan. And Brian Greasy's first throw upcoming. Plenty of time across the middle. It's Toomer, and it's a first down across the 35 to the 36-yard line. There's Brian's numbers from a week ago in his first start.
When you watch him, it is really scary how much he reminds you of his dad playing in the pocket. And not just so much the way he throws the ball and the way he drops, but his approach to the game. Very confident. You know, he always is taking the throw that the defense has given him, but he's always looking for the big play at the same time.
First down, Michigan, from its own 37-yard line. Tight end in motion. Greasy wants to throw the wide-out screen to Toomer, and Toomer lost his footing. And Pat Fitzgerald makes sure that he couldn't regain it. Short gain on the play. Fitzgerald really came out of the Air Force game we did a couple of weeks ago, Garrett.
In the second half of that football game, he just took over the game with a lot of studs up front, coming into the backfield and really exploding those plays before they got started. I think it's going to have to be similar to this football game today. Lloyd Carr wants to run the football. They want to reestablish the run here at Michigan. He's going to play a big part in stopping it.
Todd Richards comes in, the wide receiver, to take Toomer's spot on a 2nd and 9. Blitz coming. Greasy got it away. Wanted to throw a screen to Biakabatuka, and he got leveled as Ismaili came in there from the corner, and they're going to bring him a little bit, I guess, today.
And it's a nickel situation right to begin with. Ismaili is the nickel back coming from the right side of your screen, and that is really going to be the game plan in this football game. They believe Ismaili can put some pressure on Brian Greasy in first and second down nickel situations. He's almost as big as a linebacker. They want some speed on the field to cause a little bit of confusion with Brian Greasy and his reads.
Third down conversions on the year. Michigan has struggled a bit in that department. They've got 3rd down and 9. Greasy over the middle, wide open. Reimers with a tight end. Stiff arms a man, and he's got a first down out to the 49-yard line. Needed 9, and he got 10. Well, you said Riemersma could be a big factor today, and he's off to a good start.
On 3rd down, you'll see Jay Riemersma here. He's going to block for a second. He's right here. The fullback is going to go down the middle. He'll delay and then just come right into the middle of the situation here. An easy throw, delay, delay, delay. Let the linebackers drop. There's an easy throw and pick up a first down. And he's so big, and he's become so adept at running the ball. He's become a physical football player. Remember, he started out as a quarterback.
You can almost take that tag away now. He is a full-fledged tight end. First down at the 49. Biakabatuka across midfield into Northwestern territory near the 48. And let's check in with Mike Tirico. Michael.
All right, Brad, in Chapel Hill, tough start for Virginia. They haven't picked up a first down all first quarter. North Carolina's getting it done. Mike Thomas, a 16-yard pass to Leon Johnson, who threw a halfback option on this series and also scored. North Carolina driving and leading by 7.
Here, no score, opening drive from Michigan, and the 7th play of the drive at the Northwestern 48-yard line. Biakabatuka found an alley on the right side and blasts his way inside the 40 down near the 38-yard line. That's a good-looking run, one of his best in recent games. Gary's been struggling with a shoulder injury.
Pat Fitzgerald, the middle linebacker, is the guy that has to make those I formation plays. He'll be mirroring the tailback throughout this situation. On this play, number 50, Fitzgerald takes the one right in the face, and then Bennett comes up, and Biakabatuka runs him right over.
Biakabatuga with a couple of 100-yard games this year, including a career-high 143 in the opener with Memphis. Another Michigan first down at the Wildcats 38. Left side, Biakabatuga. And again, he takes a couple would-be tacklers with him. Inside the 35.
Fred, you know, beginning this year and living in this area, heard a lot of rumors about Chris Floyd and Chris Howard really pushing Biakabatuga. They wanted a more physical running back at that tailback position, more in the mold of what the old tailbacks in Michigan were. I think Biakabatuga has accepted the challenge and really turned into a much more physical running back. We all know how he has the breakaway speed he can turn him into. Now he's taking the hold and running through people.
Get 5 there. 2nd and 5. Hayes, the motion man. They're going to keep Biakabatuga on the ground this time. They're going to stop him as Fitzgerald came up from the middle linebacker position after about a yard gain. It'll bring up 3rd down and a long 3, maybe 4.
Defensive coordinator Ron Vanderlinden is going to try to get that 8th person up in the box, and usually it's Bennett. The safety is going to come up here, watch him just before the snap. Sneak up, sneak up, sneak up. He's going to get up there and get that 8th man in there. Now the challenge for Fred Jackson in Michigan is to get a feel for when he's coming up and when he's bluffing and when to pull that play-action pass and try to get it deep.
Ron Vanderlinden looking on, hoping his troops can stop a 3rd and 4. Williams is checked in at the tailback. Greasy to pass, and he goes to Williams, a freshman out of the backfield, has a first down as he's knocked out at the 26-yard line. Clarence Williams, his best game a week ago in his young Michigan career, and he picked up a first down for the Wolverines.
Nice block on Chris Howard, number 7, as we run this the right side of your screen. He's going to pick up the blitz. That gives jobs time for Brian Greasy to throw it. But notice how that ball is placed where the back can run and catch it at the same time. Short passing to the flat is a very tough art. Brian put that ball where he can turn up and get his shoulders, and that picked up the first down.
3 tight end set for the Wolverines at the 26 of Northwestern. Williams on the ground this time, inside the 25. Give him a couple. Sutter, the linebacker, in on the tackle.
You know, Brad, when I was talking to all the Northwestern coaches down on the field, they all were pointing out the fact of how Wisconsin handled Penn State. They didn't make a lot of mistakes, and they forced Penn State to make a lot of first downs if and when they scored in this football game. They want plays happening in front of them. They don't want big plays. They want Michigan to earn touchdowns by marching it down the field if they're going to score.
Neither of these teams have given up any points in the first quarter. It is in jeopardy right now as Michigan is approaching the Northwestern red zone. Greasy, nice play fake, might want it all. Going for Hayes in the corner. Got it. Nope, out of bounds. Chris Martin, the cornerback, was covering, and that one just a little bit too deep in the corner.
It was, and actually a great job by William Bennett, number 20 that time, with a little bit of a double coverage, and Hayes had to go out. That's why the ball was thrown so late. I think it was going to be a post, but the ball went just far enough out, and Virginia fans right now are saying, why couldn't that have happened to us?
There's Bennett, one of the leaders in the secondary, the senior out of Tempe, Arizona. Been waiting a long time for Northwestern to have a football team this good. And he said, we're going to try to take advantage of it this year. 3rd and 8, here comes the blitz. Greasy throws the out to Toomer, and he couldn't handle it. So Northwestern comes with the pressure. Toomer can't handle the throw, and it's going to bring up a field goal situation for Michigan.
Schmaley again is coming from the outside of this formation, and on a short drop, he can get into space. Coming in, the back's going to take him too deep that time, makes the ball go a bit high, and even if the ball was caught, that was going to be short of a first down, and it's exactly the type of game that Northwestern is trying to play. It's going to get tougher to score as they move close to the goal line.
Hamilton, you see his numbers, 8 of 10 on the season. The 41-yard field goal attempt. And he's got it right down State Street. Michigan on the board first in their opening drive. 41-yard kick is good with 9:33 left first quarter. It's the Wolverines by 3.
ESPN's presentation of college football is brought to you by Buick and your local dealers. Remember Buick, the new symbol for quality in America.
Tom Harmon, 1940 Heisman Trophy winner, averaged a touchdown every 13.3 times he touched it in a Wolverine uniform, and the second best on that list is Demanga Biakabatuga in this game today. 3-0 Michigan. 52-yard march capped by a 41-yard field goal. Jay Feely set the kick. Adrian Autry and Dave Beasley await. And it's Beasley on the fly, and he got it across the 30 and out to the 31-yard line. Pretty good starting point for the Northwestern Wildcat offense. And here's how that group looks. Steve Schnurr, they just want him to be consistent and not make mistakes today. Darnell Autry, the number 2 rusher in the country, and Hartle's the fullback. Dwayne Bates, they've got to get him the ball. He's their top receiver. Didn't catch a pass last week. Beasley and Graham round out the receiving corps. Chad Pugh's got the unenviable task of facing up with Horn and Zenkowitz on that front line of Michigan with Cardos, Johnson, Padgett, and Chavez. Darnell Autry, the number 2 rusher in the country, sets up in the Wildcat backfield. Autry outside. Got a couple, maybe 3. Clarence Thompson made the tackle. Let's check in with the third man on our crew, Adrian Carson.
Brad, thanks very much. You know, all week long in practice, especially right up even to the moment of kickoff, Northwestern has taken Gary Barnett's original "don't carry me off the field when we beat Notre Dame" approach to this game. The point is they actually expect victory. They believe they're going to beat Michigan. Well, consider this. Barnett has never coached up here. His team has never played here. The point is they don't know what they're supposed to be afraid of. I'm telling you, Northwestern is not intimidated here today.
Gary's never been in the place. He is today, coaching a 3-1, 25th ranked team. He's almost all the clock and then give it off to Autry. Nice cutback run, and Darnell Autry is close to a first down across the 40-yard line. Might be close enough to look at. Charles Woodson made the tackle for the Michigan defense that looks like this. Jason Horn tied for the Big Ten lead in sacks with Fazell, Zenkowitz, and Steele. That is a good group up front in the 4-3. Rob Sweat's been maybe their most pleasant surprise. The most improved player's got a couple interceptions, and he's the number 2 tackler with Irons and Elston. And in the secondary, and it's a good one, it'll hit you. Marcus Ray and Chuck Winters will share that free safety spot. They're both good ones. King, Thompson, and Woodson round out the secondary. And as they stretch it out, a little bit short.
There's defensive coordinator Greg Magnuson this year, still the 4-man defensive front. He told us yesterday, this is the best rushing attack we've faced all year. Now, you don't hear a lot of things like that when you face Northwestern teams. And he realizes that he respects his football team. They know they can run the ball.
Northwestern's got third down, less than a yard. 2 tight end sets. Hartle in front of Autry, but it's Schnurr, the quarterback sneak, and he's got it. First down.
One thing you will notice that Northwestern will attempt to do in this football game is run that 25-second clock right down to 1, 2, or 3 seconds. The goal of their offense is to keep their defense off the field with long drives, and they're going to try to bleed that clock as much as they can. The defense, although it is improved for Northwestern, will not hold up if their offense can't make first down.
Gary Barnett said we didn't throw much last week. He said Bates never got his hand on the ball, but we had one drive that took most of a quarter, and then they had also a fumble return for a touchdown. And that game was basically over. They didn't have to use the air game much last week. Here's a counter. Autry is going to be dropped for a loss. Great open field stop. Marcus Ray comes up from his safety spot to make the hit. And we'll check in right now with Mike Tirico.
Brad Ray and the rest of the Michigan defense did a lot of hitting on Boston College a few weeks ago. The Eagles 1-3, today hosting Pittsburgh. Omari Walker's 8-yard touchdown run puts BC up 7-0, and Pitt was just intercepted at the goal line.
Here we've got Michigan in front 3-0, but Northwestern on its opening drive facing second down 13 from its own 39-yard line. Off play action, wants to throw back the other way, and he does to the fullback Hartle, who is wide open, waits for his blockers, and the big fella got cartwheeled as he got into the Michigan end. A 12-yard gain. He's a couple short of a first down.
I'll tell you, you talk about patience. That's as much as you can get. A little play action pass. The fullback is going to block one way. Schnurr's going to come back. It's a very simple pass. Still a conservative game plan. But as you said, you want a quarterback that doesn't get you beat early in a game. And Hartle is very patient with that ball, just saying, let's move the chains. And they really think that Hartle's going to be an outstanding player. And as we watch the game unfold, we'll find out what an efficient blocker he is from the backfield.
Northwestern 36% on their third down conversion this year. Third down, a long one here. Extra tight end. Michigan thinking about a blitz motion. Now, who moved first? Was it the tight end Graham, or was it Glenn Steele, the defensive end, coming across for Michigan?
Well, they got everybody pointing every way, but that's normal in this situation. You know, it was amazing. We talked to the coaches down on the field. They were just still talking about Wisconsin, not a penalty and a turnover in that game, and all of a sudden, here it is.
Before the snap, ball start. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Down remains 3rd.
And it was against Northwestern, and now they're going to really have to earn it. That'll back it up to the 46-yard line.
I think it was the bottom of the screen here, Shane Graham, number 84. But you know what? Steele was in the backfield beforehand, and I think that was an encroachment, and that's the type of play they should be calling this year. Northwestern caught a bad play there.
3rd down along 6 now. Definitely changes the complexion of the 3rd down play.
And you know, when you were talking about you don't want Schnurr to get him beat, but these are the type of first downs he's going to have to pick up if they're going to hold the ball against this Michigan defense.
You don't want Horn and Brinkowitz in that group coming at you if you're Steve Schnurr. Here he is to throw. He got a nice pickup block. Running for his life. Throws on the run. Tipped. And incomplete. Bates and Musso, the closest receivers. But the pressure got to Schnurr enough to flush him out of there, and Michigan forces a punt.
Third and 6, you're going to see a bootleg all the way. Schnurr does not quite have the speed even to outrun Horn on this play right now. He can feel Horn coming from behind, and when he tries to throw across his body, the ball is tipped. And I really thought Bates had a chance to catch that ball in the air, but all his momentum was going the other direction, and they're going to be forced to punt.
Paul Burton to punt. Amani Toomer back deep for Michigan. Burton with a nice kick. Toomer will wave their catch and take it at the 19-yard line. So Michigan with a 3-point lead will have it on offense when we come back. In Ann Arbor, Michigan with a lead on a Hamilton field goal, 3-0. Just under 6 minutes left first quarter. Don't forget a lot more football action later today. We'll check out all the scores in the Residents in College Football Scoreboard Show. Then can Miami slow down top-ranked Florida State? We'll find out, and we'll wrap up today again with a Residents in College Scoreboard Show following that battle in Florida. Here, battle in the Big Ten has Lloyd Carr's Michigan Wolverines up by a field goal. Working from the 19-yard line. Biakabatuka. And he's brought down, ball loose. Northwestern says they have it. They're going to blow it dead.
They're calling him down on the play. I tell you, half the Northwestern team is running off the field right now.
Kenny Sutter made the hit that got the ball loose.
They tried to run that counter play, and that's where the improved athletic ability of that Northwestern defense. They just run better than they have in the past. They were there to hit that play right in the mouth, and they're getting into those slow developing plays. I think what you'll see is Michigan running more and more plays right at them. They don't appear to be able to fall for those counter plays like they had in the past.
Picked up a yard. 2nd down and 9 from the 20. Play action for Greasy. Throws the out, got Mercury Hayes. Nope, he said trapped it. Incomplete.
Well, now Merck wants this call. They just got the call before on the fumble, but this was a little bit of a stop route to the outside. The ball was thrown to the outside, and Mercury Hayes could not come up with that play. You know, Brad, we were talking to Lloyd Carr a little bit about how they've tried to simplify the offense. More shorter drops, get the ball to the outside formation, spread the ball around. This ball was thrown just to the outside. And if you can tell whether that's caught or not, you're a better man than I am.
3rd down and 9 is what we have with 5:09 to go first quarter. Ryan Greasy missed his last 3 passes, set to throw another. Got some pressure, throws it out to Hayes. This one he's got out to the 32 and a first down. Right in front of the head coach. That gets right. The points, you know.
He just comes back and says, that was a nice route there, Merck. I like that one. And here's the next play. Give it to the fullback.
Yeah, exactly. Take that back with you.
Again, what you see is Brian Greasy in this offense efficiently picking up first downs. You know, it's amazing watching the guy throwing warm-ups. He never throws the ball harder than he has to, and he puts the ball to the proper side of the receiver on nearly every throw.
First down and back to the running game they go. Biakabatuka is stacked up. Lazowski made the first hit. Sutter cleaned up, and to clean up with more scores is Mike Tirico. Michael.
Well, Terry Glenn may clean up with an award or two if he keeps this going, averaging 25 yards a catch. This is a 28-yard touchdown from Bobby Hoying. There's 7 hookup in the last 3 games. It erased a 10-0 deficit. Right now, John Cooper's Buckeyes trail by 3 at Happy Valley. Brad.
Dead 7 there, 3-0 here, and you know, I'm not a big guy that's into all the Heisman hype, but at what point does Bobby Hoying's name start to come up?
Yeah, he's dishing it around to everybody, isn't he? Well, I'll tell you when it comes up, if they win this week, his name's going to come up.
That's right. 2nd and 10. Nice place, take the bootleg, and Greasy throws to Remersma. One man to beat, but that man brings him down. Eric Collier, as I said, he's the top hitter in the secondary, and he makes a nice stop on the Michigan tight end. Let's check in with Adrian.
Brad, the Wildcat defense has been fortunate so far. Two problems they're having. They've put in a lot of new defensive looks this week, and they're having trouble getting the proper defensive in there with the proper personnel, plus the fact they're not used to the pace of the offense that Michigan is running right now.
That's a good point. And Lloyd Carter, we like to get that, what, 2 plays a minute, Gary?
Fred Jackson said, too, back to the old Michigan method. They want to play 2 plays a minute. They haven't even come close to getting a 30-second delay this year, 25-second clock delay.
If you're on defense, you better hustle in there if you're a specialist. Greasy throws out. Biakavatuka was shadowed beautifully out there by Lazowski. And Lazowski makes a nice stop. Man, if he had turned around, he probably could have caught that pass.
I can tell you that Brian Greasy's heart was in his mouth after he threw that one.
Yeah.
He no way thought they were in man coverage on that play, and he was dishing it off to his wide receiver, to his back out in the flat. He just turned and threw it as he was looking, and all of a sudden he sees a white shirt out there. Good defense, good changeup, and they are blitzing nearly every 3rd down play.
Nate DeLong to kick, had a 65-yarder last week. Northwestern has everybody up. Let's see if they try to put some heat on him. Brian Musso back deep for Northwestern, and he's dangerous. Musso takes at the 14, and he lost the ball. I believe Northwestern covered it.
I'm not so sure. I think they got it. Yes, they did. 2 almost disasters, one for Michigan, and back there with Musso, one of your sure-handed players, dropping the ball and putting it on the field.
Give credit to Barnes to get down there to cover that. So Northwestern will remain on offense, trailing by a field goal when we come back. And we welcome you back to Ann Arbor, and we wish good luck to Coach Robinson in quest of his 400 later today on the Deuce. Here on the mothership, 2:55 to go first quarter. Northwestern trails by a field goal, and Darnell Autry dropped in his tracks. Nice job defensively by Steve King, the safety who came up to make the stop.
Well, Steve King in that secondary, I think that's one of the strengths of this football team, is their secondary is much better tacklers than they had been in the past, and they are very young, and they've got great competition in that secondary. Guys that were starters just a year ago are 2nd and 3rd string, and King has been very impressive. Had that big interception return nullified against Boston College, but I was really impressed with the way they hit in that secondary.
Loss of a yard, 2nd down, 11. Schnur with a straight drop, flares it out. Autry on the run, but he's met head on. This time it's Charles Woodson, the freshman out of Fremont, Ohio, who makes the hit.
Well, there's not much that Autry could do with that one. Schnur led him right into the coverage. They rolled up the secondary that time, and Charles Woodson was going to be standing right there. And this is still patient offense for Northwestern. They're trying to play this close to the vest, but when you catch the ball and there's something on the railroad track right in front of you, there's not much you can do. This is the situation I think Gary Barnett would just say, okay, we do not want to make a big mistake right here. We don't need a turnover. If we're going to make a mistake, let's make it happen down the field.
Dwayne Bates is their big-time receiver. He's to the bottom of your screen where he'll meet the freshman Woodson. Schnur goes down despite the whistles, as you're not going to slow Zenkowicz down just with a measly whistle.
I think they might have got to delay a game in that situation.
Looked to be.
Michigan was in a bare front that time, but it looked like they were faking the blitz.
Prior to snap, delay of game, offense. 5-yard penalty, repeat, 3rd down.
Here's where it really gets scary for your offense. Now you're back to 3rd and 15, and you're inside your own 10.
It really is interesting talking to both head coaches before the game. They really weren't sure how good either one of them were before.
Right.
You know, we think they're better, we think we're better, but we really haven't played anybody. And then Gary Barnett says, well, we're better, but we haven't faced anybody with this type of a defense before. It's fascinating.
3rd and 15. And Michigan jumps. Free play as Autry takes it only to the 10. Boy, they're closing the door on him. Brett Steele made the stop. It was Will Carr who jumped into the neutral zone, and that should send it back to a 3rd and 10 as they walk this one off against the Wolverines.
Come on, Mike, let's get it, baby.
And when Will gets his body going in a certain direction, it's kind of hard to slow it down as well. He's about 30 pounds lighter than last year, but still not enough of a twinkle toes to get back after this one.
You're going to see him on the end of the line this time, and a hard count this time. Number 96, Will Carr, is going to come in there and move towards the tight end in that situation and jump offside. Schnur did a nice job of getting an extra play out of the deal, and he should. He caused a 25-second one before, so now he said, I'm even with you, Coach. And you could tell by that play call that time by Greg Myers, offensive coordinator at Northwestern, that they do not want the big mistake early in this game. I think they just assume punt the ball.
Under a minute first quarter. Third down 10. Wildcats. Michigan's thinking about a blitz. Schnur pressured heavily. Got it to Autry, and he's not going to get to the stick. Clarence Thompson met him head-on, along with Marcus Ray. Those two combine on the stop, and Northwestern indeed will have to punt.
Really great defense that time. The Michigan front four, Zankiewicz and Steele put a little bit of pressure. Zankiewicz, the senior, does a nice spin move to get it on Schnur. Schnur dumps it out, but Michigan forced that ball carrier to the sideline and forced a punt.
And that means Burton will kick. Amani Toomer back deep, high snap. Burton with a kick. Toomer had a 32-yarder last week. You got to watch out for him. If he gets a block, he's got the corner. Got about 12 on the return and a flag down.
That flag almost came out from the coaching bench that
I think
time.
it's an illegal block. They throw it back at the 48 where the hit occurred, and that will negate some pretty good field position.
You ever notice those penalties always come from the bench of the shirts where the guy's the nearest from? It'll be against Michigan now.
And instead of being in Northwestern territory, that'll back it up near the 40 or maybe inside the 40 of the Wolverines. With a half-minute left, first quarter.
And again, the Wildcats have really not put anything together offensively, but I still think they feel good about where they are with 3-0 deficit and 30 seconds to go.
College football, Eddie Robinson going for win number 400 as the coach takes on Mississippi Valley State. You can see if he can get number 400 at 4 today. That's coming up on ESPN 2. You know, you think about Eddie Robinson, 400 wins he goes for. Right now, Rick Newhouse is the second youngest coach in college football. If he wins 10 a year till he's 74, he could get close. Incomplete on a long ball to Toomer. Let's check in with Mike Tirico. Mike?
Brad, this McDonald's breakaway takes us to Chapel Hill, where somebody on the Carolina coaching staff saw something in the Virginia film. Second halfback option for Leon Johnson, a 19-yard touchdown to Marcus Wall. Virginia didn't get a first down for the first 18 minutes of this game.
Well, Virginia, their only loss, suffered on the final play that Gary alluded to earlier against Michigan in the season opener. The touchdown pass. Mercury Hayes in the corner. Second down at 10. Yakabatuka's got an opening, and he's into the secondary. Kamunga Yakabatuka waits for his blockers, cuts back inside the 25. He might take it all the way to the 15-yard line. And that's what the Michigan faithful's been waiting to see from this running back for the past couple of weeks. Rodney Ray saves a touchdown.
Hard to believe there were some whispers around here that he wasn't the guy they wanted to play tailback. Can't be much better runner than him. He's finally healthy this year. He's got a bad shoulder. And now watch him just keep running and picking the holes. He's got amazing feet for a running back. Runs through that tackle that time by Sharp and gets into the secondary. And if Rodney Ray hadn't had an angle on him, there's nobody would have caught him this time. Because I thought Yakabatuka had an ability to get into the end zone.
Whistles blow this one dead as the first quarter came to a close, I think, before the snap. Yakabatuka ties a career-long 47-yard gallop, and he's got Michigan down in scoring territory again. But at the end of the first quarter, they've got the lead. It's only a field goal at the end of one. Well, they won the first quarter. 3-0 Michigan. Set to start the second. Gary Barnett's first trip to the big house. And he's seen his team scored on for the first time this year in the opening stanza. And now Michigan threatening again with a first down up the Northwestern 15-yard line. Yakabatuka. He got him here, and he's got him 6 more inside the 10. Out of the 9-yard line, Fitzgerald in on the tackle. First quarter statistics belonging for the most part to Michigan.
Well, especially with that big run they had right at the end. And I think the telling statistic right here, Northwestern only running the ball for 7 yards. That is a bad sign if they want to stay in this football game. They're going to have to control the clock with the run.
2 tight end set. Mercury Hayes, the lone wide out. The counter to Biakabatuka down to the 1. I thought that was a little bit of a mix-up in the backfield, but if it was, it had everybody fooled except Greasy and Biakabatuka.
Well, Biakabatuka stepped the wrong way, but I'll tell you, you want to talk about a hole? This isn't a hole. This is a cavern. I mean, you can take anything through this thing. I mean, look at there. We might not have anybody on the screen by the time he made it. That is the definition of a big hole. And you take an isolation of the back, and there's no one else in this picture, and he runs for about 6-8 yards. Wow.
Biakabatuka has 7 rushing touchdowns this year already. He won't get one here as Sutter and Warren and Fitzgerald wrap him up.
This will be very interesting now on 2nd down. In the past, Michigan has always liked to come in this situation on 2nd down and run the slant or the fade play with Gary Moeller. Now, Lloyd Carr has tried to instill a little bit more of a tougher running image for his Michigan football team, and I think this will be a really telling play right here, is what type of call does he come with? A little play action pass, or will he try to establish a hard, tough running game?
Well, they've run it 12 times and passed it 12 times so far in the ball game. 2nd down and goal, just outside the 2. 3 tight ends. Biakabatuka, left side, nothing doing. Wrapped up, Collier's got a piece of him, so does Fitzgerald, so does Sutter. And it will be 3rd and goal. And now we might see more of what Gary was talking about.
Ron Vander Linden right there is calling the defense. Great push by those Northwestern players into the backfield. You see Payne trying to handle it. Fitzgerald comes in, pushes back. Collier, the strong safety, gets his hand down there. I mean, that is good team defense. Down in this situation, Michigan likes to go to the tight end, but a lot of pick plays. Watch Jay Reamer's stuff, watch the pick play.
Schumer and Hayes, the wideouts. 3rd and goal, outside the 3. And now it's an empty backfield. Biakabatuka in motion. Greasy's going to get blitzed. Throws. Schumer behind him. And Chris Martin broke it up, got a hand on it. Nice job by the Northwestern defense.
This is a huge win for Northwestern if they force a field goal in this situation.
Fans want him to go for it. Nothing doing. Hamilton's halfway to the huddle already for the field goal attempt.
Slant play to the outside, and that was really the very poor throw that Brian Greasy had. That ball was very far behind them, and they had Monty Toomer open on that slant.
And that's probably his biggest attribute is his accuracy, leading his receivers, and that one got away from him a little bit. Andy Hamilton's already hit 41. This is a 21-yard chip shot attempt from the left hash. Michigan adds to its lead. But, as Gary said, Northwestern comes up with a defensive stop. 12:43 to go in the half. Michigan 6-0.
ESPN's presentation of college football is brought to you by Ford and your Ford dealer. Have you driven a Ford lately?
Well, Michigan gets another field goal to cap a 58-yard drive. They lead 6-0, but I think Northwestern would take that field goal any old day. Hamilton hit 41-21 to account for our only scoring.
This will be, I believe, the key drive of this football game for Northwestern. If they're going to put their defense back on the field with a 3 and out, it could get out of hand.
Excuse me, Gary. That's Adrian Autry back deep, along with Beasley. Beasley's kick goes to Beasley at the 4. Straight up the middle. And a nice return. Got it across the 25 to the 26-yard line. Let's check in with Mike Tirico. Mike?
Brad, Penn State was the team that did the 9-play, 98-yard, 3.5-minute drives last year. Ohio State does it to the Lions here. Bobby Hoying, 25 yards to Ricky Dudley, his 3rd touchdown catch of the year. Buckeyes were down 10-0. They're now up 14-10.
I guess Dudley's done being a basketball player, too. 6-0, Michigan leads. Brad Nessler, Gary Danielson, Adrian Carson from the Big House in Ann Arbor with 12:39 remaining first half. Here is, as Gary said, a key drive for Northwestern. They've got to get some offense mustered somehow. Arnold with the fullback in motion. Schnur has all day, now running out of time and running out of the pocket. Oh boy, did he take a shot at the 29-yard line. Mike Elston, the linebacker. Zenkowicz had him low, and Elston's the guy that leveled him up high.
Play action pass, and I think you can judge from there that the type of call on 1st down in this situation, fake the ball to Autry, that they're going to have to open up this game. You know, you watch Wisconsin play, and you're really enamored with the running game, but they run a lot of play-action passes to keep the field spread. I think they're going to have to keep the field spread with the pass, because right now Michigan's front seven's handling them.
Autry averaging 166 a game, has 5 yards on 4 carries. Now he's got about 7 yards on 5 carries. Let's go down to Adrian Karsten.
Well, Brad and Gary, you read the Northwestern bench exactly right. Their priority right now is to get Darnell Autry involved in this game. Right now, he's a very frustrated young man. He came over to the sidelines moments ago hanging his head because he is so used to getting so many yards after that first contact. He's got to watch it now because he so carries this team emotionally. If they get him back into this ball game, they get the whole team back.
That's a great point because Gary Barnett said he's the guy in the huddle that brings everybody up to his level. His level hasn't been good enough so far today. 3rd down 4. Schnur, Autry, too low, incomplete.
Yeah, but not only that, Brad, even if the ball would have been thrown perfectly, it would not have picked up a first down. You know, those 2 guys up front, Trent Zakewitz and Jason Horn, they paid their dues. Number 76 right there is a 5th-year senior. He was highly recruited, and he just pushes his blocker right in the backfield that time. And that's why Schnur had to get rid of that ball a little bit before he wanted to.
He spent more time around Schnur's legs than Schnur's knee pads have been today. And now Burton will have to punt again. And it's Amani Toomer back deep. Michigan has the return on. Oh, and they almost got to the kick even with the return on. Toomer, fair catch taken at the 38-yard line. Michigan got close that time. Yalo Anderson almost had himself one. 30-yard punt is all. We get another look going to break with 11-11 remaining first half. Michigan leads 6-0. Couple of Michigan field goals, the only scoring so far with 11-11 left in the first half. The Wolverines on their own 39. Brian Greasy wants to throw a screen and does to Reamersma. The tight end with a hurdle job. And now Sutter and Fitzgerald will bring him down. He got 5 or 6. I don't know about that one. I thought maybe Bianca Batuka was the intended receiver, and Reamersma just snatched that one out of the air. ESPN Golf Tour takes you to the senior PGA circuit for the Trans-America Championship from the Silverado Country Club in Napa, California. Coverage starts 4 o'clock today. Lee Trevino is the defending champion. Leaderboard, John Bland is the man at 7 under, and there's Lee in a group just a shot back. 2nd down 5 as Reamersma picked up 5 on the toss, and now it's Bianca Batuka with a big hole, and he's down to the 47-yard line of Northwestern. First down, Michigan. 9-yard dance by Tumunga that time.
When the coaches first saw Bianca Batuka, he was in their football camp here, high school player. Coaches out of Canada, and came in here, and they go, you got to see this guy's feet. And every time you watch him run, you're just amazed. He makes cuts so quickly, and he actually cuts off 2 feet. A lot of gifted running backs do that move. It's just like he's in the air, and then boom, through the hole.
I was going to say, it looks like sometimes he makes the cut while he's in midair. Michigan 7th first down. Play action for Brian Greasy. Wide open. Mercury Hayes, and that's first down number 8. Pick up a 13.
2 great receivers. One's going to go long, one guy's going to run out. It's really a high school play right here. One guy goes long, one guy goes out. That's as simple as it has to be. It doesn't have to be that complicated. You know, Brian Greasy's dad one day told me, and I think I've told you this story a couple times, Brad, but, you know, it's not chess out there, it's checkers. You know,
that's right.
When they move one way, you move the other. And that's really how simple and how effective a good offense can be.
There's the first down story we talked about. Northwestern with a blitz. Bianca Batuka got 2 or 3. Ray Roby wrapped him up. Clock under 10 minutes. First half, 6-0 Michigan. Bianca Batuka's put together a pretty good day already. Closing on 100.
Well, you know, the score looks close, 6-0, but this game is getting out of hand just a bit. I mean, time of possession and plays, I bet it's probably 30 plays to, I believe, 12 at this start, and that defense will start to wear down.
2nd down and 7. Bianca Batuka again to the middle of the line. Maybe got a yard, but that's about all. It's going to bring up 3rd down and long. Well, the questions, I guess, about his shoulder problem have been answered here in the first half. He's close to 100 yards already, and Michigan coaches told us, we said, well, how bad was his shoulder?
Yeah, and it was much worse than they let out. And they said his shoulder was worse than Tyrese's shoulder was a year ago. And, he only had 10 snaps a couple weeks ago. And, I mean, they built him back into the offense. And he is just now getting healthy.
Michigan's dominated this year. He said they run 31 plays to only 12 for the Wildcats. Comes a blitz from the corner. 3-6 with time. Down the middle. Reamer's another tight end. First down. Well, we got a penalty marker down at the line of scrimmage. Again, a flag down back at the 31.
He's such a big target that you just have to look. And you see these offenses that use the tight end. He's so valuable. You've got a tight end that can find those little holes in the defense, especially with those two wide receivers that we talked about that demand so much coverage out there. Reamersma is going to make first down.
Illegal procedure negates a first down toss.
Brad, that flag was thrown so quickly at the snap, I would assume that it was an illegal formation that they had in that situation.
Maybe had an open end over here on the left side.
Illegal formation.
That's what he just said. Lloyd Carr just said, get on the line.
5-yard penalty. Repeat, third down.
So now it's going to be third down at 12.
And again, the defensive game plan for Ron Vanderlyn that makes things happen in front of you is working. He needs a couple of drop balls. Remember last week Penn State had a couple of drop balls to kind of help along the way for Wisconsin. Right now, let's see how efficient this Michigan offense stays.
What he's done on third down. He's got third and a dozen and 3 wideouts from the 36-yard line. Deep out, Hayes can't handle it. Wouldn't have been a first down anyway, but nice coverage on the corner by Rodney Ray. Right there with number 9.
Well, Rodney Ray is a senior for this defense. He's been playing man-to-man coverage a long time. He and his partner, Chris Martin, have been out on the corner back when they did not have a good defense up front, when they had to play a lot of bump and run man-to-man and be out there on an island. They have plenty of confidence back in the secondary, and he did a good job of coming through that ball and breaking up the play.
Rodney set a Northwestern school record last year with pass breakups, and you can consider that one an efficient pass breakup. It brings on Nate DeLong. He'd like to just punch one somewhere inside the 10.
Northwestern's playing a punt safe here. They're looking for a fake.
Almost had it blocked. He heads it to the near corner. Right for the Marshmallows. And Michigan can't quite get there. Came close. Hawkins almost got a hand on it. It'll be Northwestern from the 20 on offense when we come back.
Welcome back to the Big House, Michigan Stadium here in Ann Arbor, where the Wolverines lead the Wildcats 6-0 now in the second quarter. After 17 years as coach, as both assistant and head at Northwestern, and then 6 years as special teams coach here at Michigan, Al Agassi now joins us in his emeritus capacity. Coach, let me ask you, while at Northwestern, did you recruit the same kind of athlete that they're now recruiting both at Northwestern and at Michigan?
Certainly they're competitive this year, and I'm very happy about that. And we did recruit good athletes in past years, and we had some good teams, and we had great respect. And that's important to have respect.
The respect that Northwestern has garnered now, because they're better, they think they're better, the combination of the two.
I think Coach Barnett has done a great job in getting a good mental attitude with these kids and the belief that they can win. That goal line stand a minute ago shows you what he's done.
Coach, thank you very much, Brad. He's got the victory cigar ready to go. I think he's a little bit further along on his than I am on mine.
You hope, Amy, Ashley, Aaron, and Alyssa. Those are all my grandchildren, and I had to get it in, Henry.
There you go.
When you're emeritus, you can do that.
You can. There's the stogie. Save one of those for me, Coach. He's a character.
I can guarantee, and everybody knows Alex, that won't last long.
No, it won't. It'll be chewed in half, if nothing else. Second down, 10. Schnurr in and out of the hands of Harnell, the fullback, out of the backfield. Mike Elston was covering.
The Michigan defense is stopping that run game, and they are not committing any extra players up there. They are playing it honest. They're playing 4 deep secondary people, and the front 7 for that Michigan defense, especially those front 2 inside guys, Horn and Zankowitz, are really taking over this football game. I don't think there's more or a tougher 2 inside tackle people in college football than these 2 guys playing side by side.
7:35 remaining in the half. Third down at 10, Northwestern. Wolverines back out of the blitz. Schnurr fires. Bates, great catch. Going for the interception, or very close to it, was Woodson, but Bates has the height on just about everybody out there. first time they've gotten it to him today, a pickup of 14.
Well, we talked about Zankiewicz, number 76 in the middle of this line. This time, Rob Johnson outside does a good job inside. Schnurr, I don't really know how he gets this ball away. It looked like he was throwing out of a well that time, and Bates, as you said, just goes up high. Woodson had great coverage on the play, and he just put it there and caught it. You know, I got the bad news, though. Schnurr's going to leave this football
game. Oh, boy. And that means that Tim Hughes will take his spot. He was really hammered as he let go of that ball. As Gary said, I don't know how he got it out there, but he did.
You know, we're up here 50 yards in front of the field, and I could hardly see him as he threw that. I know he did not see much. There you see it. Horn coming right in his face. He gets hit, and I'm not so
it's Chris
sure.
Hamdorf who's going to take over now at quarterback. I said Hughes, who was out there, and now he's gone back to the sideline. First down since 8 minutes remained in the first quarter. And coming up throwing and a first down. Down to the 41-yard line is Darren Drexler, the big tight end. How about that for entering the game and throwing for 25 yards?
Well, that is the ultimate misdirection because there was misdirection. It's really the misdirection. When you run into the other guy as he runs into the offense, that's misdirection. Then he has the presence to stay with the play, put it down the middle, and there's the tight end just wide open in the middle of that zone right there. And finally, they've been able to string a couple first downs together to take some of the pressure off that defense.
The junior on Iowa City completes his first pass under 7 minutes to go in the half. Now it's Autry trying to cut outside, and again Michigan just stretches it out, and Clarence Thompson makes the tackle after Autry got about a yard. Let's check in with Mike Tirico. Mike.
Right, as Hamdorf gets his feet wet, there's been a tough start for LSU quarterback Jamie Howard. He was intercepted just once all year until this Fred Weary pickoff. The Florida defensive back takes it 61 yards. Fred Taylor runs it in. Early Elijah Williams scored. Gators lead by 14.
Here the Wolverines lead by 6. But this is the deepest penetration for Northwestern.
Got a feeling that Florida football team might be able to play Jacksonville pretty close.
Steve Schnurr trying to warm it back up after taking the big shot.
He got hit on the thumb as he let it go. That's the only thing I could see when he let the ball go. You could see him flexing that thumb.
We get a timeout with 6:47 left in the first half. The Michigan Wolverines with a 6-point lead. Steve Schnurr on the Northwestern sideline trying to move the neck around a little bit. He was really sandwiched as we'll get another look at Zankiewicz and Horn coming up the middle, and then watch the end of the play. Right in the head from Simmons, who was running by. Adrian, how is Steve Schnurr on the sideline?
And with the impact of that injury, it's no surprise that he got what's called a stinger. And Gary, you know, once you get hit that hard in the head, it goes right down to the tips of your fingers where he lost his feeling. So he's trying to get it back right now.
Second down and 8, meanwhile, for Chris Hamdorf. Trying to get Northwestern in scoring position. And now apparently changing up the play at the line of scrimmage. Looks to the right the whole way and goes out complete. Broken tackle by Waterman. And he's going to pick up extra yardage out of it. Toussaint Waterman, who was hit immediately by Clarence Thompson, and he gave away about 4 yards, but he got about 5 back.
Toussaint Waterman is a local player, played at Detroit Country Day, was a running back, and really took that hit as on that pass, moved it out. Nice job by Hamdorf there, seeing the blitz, staying with it, getting out of it, and going to a safe pass and moving the chains again.
Waterman would not have had the first down had he not recoiled and gone back in the other direction. He got a first down at the 30-yard line of Michigan. Michigan has dominated in plays, time of possession, you name it, but on the scoreboard, only 2 Hamilton field goals, and with 6:25 left in the half. Northwestern still with an opportunity to take the lead before halftime. Flag down is Autry. And heat tagged by Steve King from the secondary. But they get a penalty marker on the play. They are making the number 2 rusher in the country earn every inch today.
2 people in motion for Northwestern. They're going to have a penalty on that play. You know, Jared Irons, as we look at the signal on that one, the middle linebacker, great junior middle linebacker from Michigan, is going to have his eyes on Autry the whole way. When Autry goes one way, Irons is going to be right there all day in his face, and that really is the game plan for Jared Irons. He is going to be shadowing Autry the whole football game, and I don't think I want this guy shadowing me.
No, I wouldn't either.
Met him yesterday in the hallway, and
that shadow was enough right there.
He is ready to play, and kind of kidding him. I heard him on the radio the other day with his dad, and I said, you know, your dad sounded better than you. And he said, you know, you're about the 1,000th guy that's told me that.
Gerald Irons, former NFL star, his father. So the penalty walks it off as Irons looks at a 1st and 15 for the opposition. Northwestern at the Michigan 35-yard line. Hamdorf has plenty of time. Deep in the middle. Got his man. It's Waterman at the 10-yard line. How about Chris Hamdorf off the bench with Steve Schnurr banged up, goes 25 yards the first time he puts one in the air, and 26 that time.
Waterman is in the slot to the left of this formation. It's really the same play that he hit the tight end down the middle. Little play action pass, holds the middle linebacker, and then the ball is thrown right in the seam, and Thompson, number 17, almost reaches out, but that ball was thrown perfectly in the seam. You don't want to throw those high. Put it where just your guy can get it over the middle, and Northwestern in the passing game has brought them back in this football game.
First down and 10 at the 11-yard line of Michigan. Hamdorf 3 for 3. 1 to the tight end, 2 to Waterman. Pulling out, trying to lead Autry. Autry looking for the corner, and King will not let him have it, and right into the Northwestern drum section. As Darnell Autry said, I hear this beating on my helmet. It's either Zankiewicz and Horn and King, or it's the drum that he just ran into on the sideline.
Autry has not been able to get outside of this defense all day. Michigan bouncing it outside this time. And King, as you said, is the recipient of this tackle. Really, he should go back and thank Rob Sweat that time and say, Nate, thanks for bouncing it out to me, and I'll make the play. Good team defense by Michigan.
We'll give Autry a yard just because they moved the chain a little bit. 2nd down and 9. 54% of touchdowns inside the 20. Autry trying to weave his way, broke one tackle, but he goes down at the 7-yard line. Rob Sweat, the linebacker, made the hit, and now it's going to be 3rd down and long. It is not 3rd and goal, however. They can get a first down at about the 1-foot line. There's Sweat, a guy who's really come on for the Michigan defense.
You'll see this time the ball's run right up. Jason Horn, the middle, the nose tackle. Nobody's blocking them. And then all of a sudden, it is the fullback that they're laying in on that nose tackle. They're trying to get an extra guy on Zankiewicz and Horn and doing it different ways. With the tight end and the fullback. That time was Hartel.
3rd down at 6. 10th play of the Northwestern drive.
Michigan's in a blitz situation.
Here they come. Snap was late. Let's see. Illegal procedure against Northwestern. I think both tackles came out of their stance.
And I think Hamdorf started the move that time also, so I'm just wondering if the center was late on the center with it that time.
Rob Johnson may have been the only guy that didn't have the call.
Yeah, Rob Johnson thought it was on 3, and it was really on 2.
Prior to the snap, ball starts. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Repeat, 3rd down.
You will see the false start on this play. This man right here is going to come King to the outside. That's the blitz coming from the corner that they were going to come with an all-out blitz. And I think everybody kind of puckered just a bit that time on that blitz. And you know why Gary Barnett is a little bit upset is he probably had the defense he wanted to throw that slant. You're allowed to say that, aren't you, Pucker?
We already did.
Oh.
And now we got a timeout. Oh, and there's an angry head coach. We'll take the break and let Gary Barnett cool off and see if his team can pick up a 3rd and 11 when we come back. Gary Barnett with the steam finally stopping out of his ears after that timeout was called. 4:23 left in the half. His team shut out so far, but down at the Michigan 12-yard line. So the play comes in from the bench. Bates and Waterman, the wide receivers, bring it in with Hamdorf, the quarterback.
Zankiewicz and Horn have been putting the pressure up inside. Let's see if they can get them blocked in this passing situation. I do not expect Michigan to blitz. I think they'll drop in a zone.
10th play of the Northwestern drive. Pressure. The throw is incomplete. Zankiewicz and Carr came in there. Carr is the one that put Hamdorf on his backside, and it's going to force a field goal attempt by Northwestern.
He really had nowhere to throw that ball that time and did a good job of just getting it on the ground and keeping him in field goal situation. This time, you'll see the pressure, but as Hamdorf drops into the pocket, he has nobody to throw to. Zone defense by Michigan. Everything's in front of him. He just throws it on the ground and gives him a field goal try.
Sam Valancizi, a 29-yard attempt. He hasn't missed yet this year. 7 straight field goals. 8 straight field goals. Northwestern would have loved to have had the lead with 4:15 left in the half, but they'll settle for the three-pointer, and that cuts the Michigan advantage to 6-3. Let's check in with Mike Tirico before the kickoff. Michael?
Okay, Brad, there are 3 unbeaten teams in the Big Ten. Michigan's one of them. The other 2, Ohio State and Iowa, facing road tests today. We'll have the highlights coming up at halftime, and we'll talk about the legend, Eddie Robinson, as he goes for that milestone 400th win later today. It's all coming up at halftime.
All right, Mike, halftime about 4:15 from now from Ann Arbor with Gary Danielson and Adrian Karsten and our ESPN crew. Brad Nessler along with you. And Lloyd Carr, first-year head coach, 5-0 coming into this one. 15 years, though, here under Bo Schembechler and Gary Moeller.
And, of course, he was a local high school head coach here. He got into the college game and also coached at Illinois with Gary Moeller when he was in that short stint there.
So plenty of time for Michigan to work before intermission. And 2 dangerous men back near the 5-yard line awaiting Valancizi's kick. And they would be that man, Mercury Hayes, and the other, Amani Toomer. 6-3, Michigan. Nice kick by Valancizi. Sends Mercury Hayes to the 4, where he one-hopped it. And now cuts outside. Look out. Got the corner. Hayes with a stiff ball down the sideline. Ran out of real estate. He may have been off to the races. As it is, he got it out to the 44-yard line. A 40-yard return by Mercury Hayes. Well, we got more action again next Saturday for college football. Starting things off, College Game Day live from Birmingham, Alabama. And Gary and Adrian and I will be at Purdue as Penn State invades Boilermaker country at 3:30 and 7. The Residence Inn's college football scoreboard show. Then Peyton Manning and 10th-ranked Tennessee taking on number 16 Alabama. That's all next Saturday.
Mercury Hayes, a little bit of a frustrated football player a year ago, did not get a lot of tries with the football. This year, he's more involved in the offense.
And with that great return, he gives Michigan the opportunity to try to work down the points. Plenty of time, 4:07. Play action for Greasy. Throws out to Hayes. Hit immediately. Forward progress. They will get him out to the 48-yard line. About a 5-yard pickup. Nice job defensively by Udafi Ismaili.
Ismaili is playing a lot in this football game. Ron Vanderlinden is playing a nickel situation. See Hayes comes out, turns to the outside of this thing, ball's put right on there, but Ismaili with 5 defensive backs is a physical football player for this Northwestern football team. They got to find ways to get him on the football field, and they're doing it with a nickel situation, only 2 linebackers in the game.
Second down and 6 at the 3.5-minute mark. Biakabatuga will try the left side, and he's going to be close to a first down, about a yard short. Danny Sutter, the linebacker, came in to make the hit. Biakabatuga over 100 yards here in this first half.
Well, I can tell you what Bob Greasy would call in this 3rd and short situation.
Throw to Warfield.
You bet. Warfield on the post or the post corner, and it was really a little play-action pass. Let's see if Mercury Hayes or play-action pass either goes to the post or the post corner. Biakabatuga off to the races before Collier can catch up with him. All the way to the 36-yard line, 11 more. So a great first half, 113 yards on 17 carries by Tamanga Biakabatuga. Remember we talked about his little skip step he has? He makes cuts almost to dirt. Boom, just skips right over a leg right there, doesn't trip over anybody, gets into the secondary. You know, I played with a guy who ran exactly like that, Ernest Biner, when he was playing with the Browns. He always used to get to that hole and just skip to the outside and get into the secondary. Very effective type of running style from Biakabatuga. He is a tougher runner this year than he was a year ago.
A little bit tired right now as well. He should. 17 carries. And has his team a first down at the 36 of Northwestern. Greasy. And that one got away from him. And almost intercepted. Dropped the ball. Wow. Collier would have had the interception. Just waiting on it. And, well, that tells the whole story right there.
Wazowski comes from the outside, number 44, and hits Greasy's arm just as he's letting go of this ball. That's what makes the ball go to the outside and just flips out. And I thought Collier right here is going, oh, you see how his left foot just gave way. He drops the ball. And that's the one that just changed that you've got the ball. You're going to at least go in at halftime 6-3.
Without a little bit of rain here this week, and he probably catches that thing.
And it was slippery down there.
Williams checks in at the tailback spot now. A 2nd and 10. Michigan. They fake it to him, and Greasy's wide open as he wants to throw back near side to Williams. Almost intercepted. Great play by Rodney Ray. That was a good-looking play all around. Everybody did their job, but Ray broke it up.
Boy, Ray did an outstanding job of playing his zone this time, because I got to tell you the truth, my eyes were on the right side of the field here. Greasy turns back. He thinks he's got a free one here, and Ray just closes on the ball. And then for the 2nd straight play, he could have intercepted the ball, Ray. That time Northwestern could have. And now it's 3rd and 10, and they're keeping Michigan on the field and still plenty of time.
Ryan maybe got just a little bit too much air on that pass.
I think he thought he had him wide open. He didn't want to miss him.
3rd down and 10 now. Greasy fires out. Reavers on the flat. Can he get to the stick? No. Northwestern will stop him at the 29-yard line. Fitzgerald and Sutter, the 2 linebackers, grab on to big number 16.
If I was Michigan here, I'd run the clock down a bit, take a timeout, and decide whether I want to go for it here on 4th down.
It's 6-3 here, and don't forget you can get all your scores of your favorite teams at 10, 30, and 50. Past each and every hour, each and every day, 24 hours a day on ESPN.
You see Michigan take a timeout. This is the type of situation where you get everybody to the sideline. It's a key play, and you don't want to give Northwestern a lot of time to come back either. Good job by Lloyd Carr of key play in this game, huddling back on the sideline and making sure everybody's got an idea what he wants to do here.
It's 4th down and about 3.
And also remember in this situation, it's the type of play that you could run the hard count and try to draw them off sides and get a cheap 1st down. And I'm sure Ron Vander Linden, the coach, is telling his guys the same thing. Let's don't jump offside.
Field goal-wise, it would be about a 44-yarder. Don't forget, the Office Max halftime report is a minute and 41 seconds away for you. We'll keep you updated on another big game in the Big Ten, Ohio State, Penn State, in Happy Valley, in the SEC, LSU in Florida, and all the rest of the scores and highlights. Let's check in right now with Mike Tirico. Mike?
I guess this would be the cliff notes of the Office Max halftime report. Florida getting it done against LSU. Danny Werfel's had a good day. Some short passes has now opened up passes like this one for Chris Doering, 25 yards. It set up a score, and Florida's now up 21-0.
What an offense the Gators had. Here, 6-3, low-scoring affair, all field goals.
There's Ronnie Vander Linden, defensive coordinator. He's saying one play, guys. Let's stop them here, and the worst we do is come out at halftime 6-3 and still potentially able to upset this football team.
Richard, Toomer, and Hayes, the 3 wideouts. It's Williams, the freshman, in the backfield on 4th down and 3. Greasy fires, almost intercepted. Somebody got a hand on it en route. And Northwestern has come up with another stop. Casey Daly.
Absolutely. It was Casey Daly, number 36. When you throw the ball short, you're going to get the potential of get guys that hit that ball. And that time Daly came in and got on it. He was just trying to throw for the 1st down. Looking left all the way. Was going to go to Williams for a second, then changed his mind, got it over the middle. Ball was tipped, and I really don't know if he was going to be able to squeeze that one in anyway. I suspect that the Northwestern coaching staff is going to say, guys, let's not make any mistakes here. We only have 1 timeout. Let's run out the clock here and get in at halftime and say, we've shortened the game, and we're in it, and we can still upset them.
Steve Schnurr back in at quarterback.
Autry's going to get it on the draw.
Throw. They're going to throw. Maybe. Nope. Schnurr goes down again. Steele got to him.
Autry should have got it on the draw play.
Steele and Fazell made the hit. And Michigan's going to take a timeout because now there's a minute 25 left. And it's 2nd down at about 17. So Michigan will come over. Gary Barnett has got basically one of those Excedrin jobs right now.
Yeah, you know why? He's afraid now, the situation they're in, they're going to have to punt the ball. And, you know, they are only a punt snap away from being 4-0. Remembering back to that Miami game when they really had that game put away with a big lead in that football game. And he knows now, and they're not likely to pick up the 1st down because they're going to be very conservative with the football. Michigan has 1 more timeout left, and yet they're probably going to be forced to punt it. I remember there was only less than a minute in this football game We're talking the second week of the season when they had knocked off Notre Dame the week before. In
First
the
of all, a field goal at that first. There's one bad snap.
And that cost them. Could have put the game away with that one.
Here's the one that cost them the ball game.
Right. There's about, look, 50 seconds to go in the game down to the 1-yard line. And that cost them a football game. And when you're trying to put together 6 wins for a season, you know, when you blow one like this, you might not ever get it back.
They were up 28-7 over Miami of Ohio in that game and ended up losing 30-28 as you saw the final. And they had been in the top 25 prior to that game, fell back out of it, then put together back-to-back wins to get back to number 25 this week. And there's Paul Burton on the sideline, who may be called on. Still, we've got a couple of downs before then. Second down, 16. Autry finally found himself a little bit of breathing room, and he got out across the original line of scrimmage to the 30-yard line, picked up about 7, and now another timeout taken with 1:19 left. Darnell Autry, the number 2 rusher in the country, coming in at 166 per game. And boy, has the sled been uphill in Ann Arbor today.
And I think that point that Adrian made early in this game, when Darnell Autry is your like alter ego and he's the enthusiasm for the game, and he's not having a big game, now he has to step up and not lose his enthusiasm, because guys are going to be saying, what's wrong with Darnell out here? And they're going to kind of fold it as Darnell folds it. So when one of your leaders isn't having a big game, he still has to step up the emotion and play it out.
He's like a bottle of champagne. You shake him up and pop the cork, and he's got all kinds of bubbles, and it kind of goes all over everybody. But if you leave that cork unpopped too long, it gets a little stale, and that's the way Northwestern's offense has been so far today. Let's check in with Adrian.
You guys are absolutely right. Taking a look at the Northwestern side, the whole team is almost moving with Darnell on the sidelines now, and he gets up off the bench, moves along. They're talking to him, got his chin up, so they're helping him out. Now he's got to help them out.
Like that little dog following Red Dog around the neighborhood. You want to come out Saturday night, Red Dog? I'll be there, buddy. 1:19 left in the half. 3rd down and 9. Now they sure put it up here.
If he does, it's going to happen way downfield. I don't think you're going to see a safe pass if they throw.
Whoops. Michigan, did they jump? Autry. And he gets out. He's short of the first down by about a yard, it appears. Michigan got back on the left side of the defensive line. They hopped into the zone and got back into their stances.
Boy, the situation is almost eerie here. About the same time on the clock. Of course, one was towards the end of the game. Now they got their snapper back in there. Janis is going to be snapping the football.
He's already over the ball, too. He's warming up. There he is. 3rd 3 and out for Northwestern, and now the pressure on Burton to kick away to Toomer. They're going to take all the time they can before they snap this thing. Snap clean. End over end punt. Toomer waits on it. Fair catch, and he dropped the ball. Northwestern covered it. At least I thought so. They did. Northwestern gets a break as Toomer dropped it after the fair catch.
The best laid plan, sometimes you can coach them, but you still got human beings out there on the field that can make plays. Boy, I don't know if it's Bailey there gave him the 2 yards he needed, and I'm sure out of the corner of his eye, he saw that white jersey, took his eye off the ball just a bit.
Chris Martin covered it.
On the 29-yard line with plenty of time, 31 seconds to take a couple throws towards the end zone here.
And they've got a good field goal kicker who hasn't missed yet this year. So, Northwestern's thinking we can definitely tie this thing up if we don't get careless, but maybe we can have the lead.
I'm going to put at least one throw into the end zone to Bates, the way he can get up and catch the ball.
Ryan Russo in as the 3rd wide receiver with Beasley and Bates. Across the middle, and he got it to Autry, and Autry down to the 22-yard line, picked up 7. Rob Sweat made the tackle, clock running down to 20 seconds.
I'll tell you, I don't know if they're going to have enough time, but they did have Bates open that time, going down the sideline.
And now a timeout taken.
And if Greg Meyer, the offensive coordinator from Northwestern, was looking for anything, I think he was looking, could I get one deep? But now with 14 seconds to go.
They got to go to the end zone. They're out of timeout.
Well, now you even wonder, as we look at Greg Myers, I'll tell you what I saw, and I'm sure Greg Myers saw. Bates, the top of the screen, number 5 right here, is going to run right down the field. And he was open towards the corner. If that ball would have been thrown out towards the corner, he had him for a touchdown. Brad, the problem here, if I was Northwestern, I'd say, If we give up a sack, though, the half is going to end. So if we're going to throw the ball, we have to throw it on a 3-step drop, get rid of the ball, no sacks. Otherwise, let's just kick a field goal right now.
Don't forget the Office Max halftime report's 14 seconds away. But Northwestern's got a couple of plays left before then. And Steve Schnurr, who was shaken up earlier, back in at quarterback for Northwestern, and should get one more throw here before a field goal attempt would be upcoming.
They're giving them about, they've got 12 coaches on the sidelines now telling them, throw it, don't get intercepted, make sure you don't let them catch it inside playing field, and make sure if you do catch it, it's to the outside of the field, and it's got to be the other coach. Man, I'm only at Northwestern. I can't understand that stuff.
I didn't want to go to calculus today.
Right.
Second down and 3. That might be academic. Let's see what they do. Sure. There's the short drop. Autry over the middle. Autry down to the 11, and now will time run out.
That's the one thing that they could not do.
They get the clock stopped to move the sticks. So let's see if Schnurr can ground one here. As Michigan finally gets...
Now they're going to get it off.
They're
going to work.
And now they will wind it right there. Schnurr, and he grounds it with 5 seconds left. And here comes the field goal unit. Well, that was a little bit risky, but with the chains moving, and stops the clock, it gave ample opportunity for Northwestern's offensive line to get back and ready.
I'll tell you, that ball was short of a first down. The half would have ended.
Sam Valancizi set for a 28-yard attempt.
But you know, if you're going to knock off Michigan, you got to take chances.
Valancizi to try to tie it before halftime. Whoops. Somebody got a piece of it, but it goes through. Either that or it was a knuckleball of all times, but Sam still perfect. 2 for 2 today. Perfect on the year. 9 straight for number 27, and he's tied things up with 1 tick of the clock left before intermission.
The key here, Michigan is calling timeouts on that last drive to try to get the ball and force a bad punt snap by Northwestern. And what happens? On the punt, your All-American candidate sees a flash of white go in front of him, drops the fair catch, and they get the ball on the 31-yard line.
Chris Martin covered it, and it led to a very crucial field goal to tie things up. So 1 second left, and we assume Valancizi is just going to squib one to stop this first half. Amani Toomer will be one of the guys going back deep, and I doubt that he's going to see the ball. He's been very quiet today, as well as an offensive threat, because Mercury Hayes has been the main go-to guy at wide receiver today for Michigan. So Slam and Sammy.
Besides the record, it wasn't pretty, but they ain't going to remember it, are they?
No, not at all. As long as it goes through those 2 uprights and over that crossbar, which it barely did. And now the ball, they'd like to take that right there if they could get the second. Sam says, can we just blow that thing dead? Well, no style points for the field goal, no style points for the kickoff so far. But the degree of difficulty, you're trying to tie it up before halftime. We'll give him credit for that. Here it goes. Has to touch someone. And it's loose. Doesn't matter. The half will come to an end. It might be Northwestern's ball on the bottom. No, Michigan got on top of it. So, tied up at halftime. It's a battle of field goals and a battle in the Big Ten here in Ann Arbor as we send it back to the studios for the Office Max halftime report and Mike Tirico.
Just has not been able to get off that Michigan defense, and they really haven't been committing a lot of guys, have really been able to take Autry out of this football game. And you can see the comparison between the 2 running backs right here. Only 28 yards for Autry, the second leading rusher of the country. Biak Batuka has just been able to run the ball inside on this defense. 113 yards at half, and he's been able to do it between the tackles inside. But when it counted, I think the real key to this football game was that goal line stand. Michigan got the ball down there. Northwestern stiffened up, and on 3rd down, they faced the big play of the game. Brian Greasy threw the ball behind Amani Toomer, and I really felt you see all the momentum change at that point. They stopped it, and, you know, I thought that was the key. They got a lot of first downs after there, and then the receivers for Michigan, a lot of 8-man fronts for that Northwestern defense. but the receivers, Toomer, Hayes, and Remus, only 66 yards in the first half of the football game.
That's phenomenal defense.
They really have to come up bigger in the second half.
Enough to make you lose your team card.
Well, at least hide it, huh?
Well, Toomer and Hayes have a half left. And a long way to go. Statistically, at halftime, things closed. The gap was very wide at the end of the first quarter.
You know, here it is again. Northwestern only 28 yards, and Michigan throwing the ball only 74 yards between the two, using their weapons going into the game. You know, that is really stands out of why the other team was able to stop the other offense. It's only 6-6.
Michigan will be kicking off. Northwestern will get its hands on the football first. Jay Feely will kick. And Beasley and Adrian Autry will await. Set for the third quarter. Beasley says it's mine, and he'll take it at the 6. Beasley's got an avenue, but it closed in a hurry. Boy, had a nice seam, but a nice job defensively or by the special teams of Michigan to close things down. Let's check in with Adrian Karsten.
Well, Brad, the scoreboard indicates the equal amounts of emotion I just got from both the locker rooms up the tunnel hill. Interesting situation standing in between the two doors. Positive emotion coming from Northwestern, rather negative, however, from Michigan. On defense, Coach Greg Madison, their coordinator, has placed the emphasis on this game directly on the shoulders of Trent Zykowitz and Jason Horn. On offense, Michigan goes back to their bread, their butter, and their Biaka Batuga. That's the way they're going to score.
The 3 Bs, that's right. Tell you what, those are some pretty good sized shoulders if you want to put it on somebody. A couple of seniors, 275-pounders, anchor in the middle for Michigan. And almost no gain for Autry. A very short gain. Jared Irons made the tackle from his middle linebacker position.
When Zykowitz and Horn do their job up front like good defensive tackles, that middle linebacker, number 37, who's shadowing Autry all game, is going to scrape into the hole and just gobble him up before Autry's going to get started. And I think, you know, unless Autry is going to be able to put 50 or 60 yards in the second half running the ball, Northwestern's going to be in a lot of trouble.
2nd down and 9. Autry trying to go wide this time. Ran into his own man, trying to throw a block out there was Bates. He ran right up his back and got it out to the 32. And Autry came in as the number 2 rusher in the country at 166 a game. And the Michigan rush defense is 7th in the country. And showing why with Autry only 37 on the ground so far this afternoon.
Well, in a one-back offense, there's not a lot of other guys you can hand the ball off to. So Autry's going to get the ball. It's just different style. I think you're going to see more of those slant plays like he ran right there trying to get to the corner of this defense. It's been tough sledding up middle.
3rd down a yard. He'll try the right side. Bangs it outside, and a nice open field hit by Charles Woodson. Boy, they like this freshman, and I can see why.
Well, Woodson made the tackle, but we all know that good defenses forces plays to the outside. This time, Autry tries to run it off tackle. The ball is bounced out that time, and Woodson is able to make the play. You know, credit number 5, Mike Elston, and Rob Sweat, the 2 outside linebackers, for bouncing that play out, and Woodson cleans it up.
They both drilled the fullback. Hartle out of the play. Burton low snap. He handles it. Oh, and he got all of this one. Wow. Toomer. This goes all the way to the end zone. He had a 90-yarder earlier in the year. That's a 69-yard punt. Michigan at the 20 in a tie game when we come back.
ESPN's presentation of college football is brought to you by the new Dodge. We're thinking ahead.
Well, the old clock tower saying 2:30, that gives us a chance to remind you that at 10:30 and 50 past each and every hour. That's right, ESPN will bring you all your favorite scores every day, all day. Michigan fans don't have much to cheer about right now.
That's the only hat that doesn't have a tip on it.
Or a face mask.
That's right.
From the 20, Michigan opening offensive series, third quarter. 12:52 left in the third in a tie game. Mercury Hayes in motion. Biakabatuka, left side. Biakabatuka breaks the tackle, and he's got about 9 out to the 29-yard line. Eric Collier, the strong safety, finally brought him down, but Biakabatuka, who had a great first half, ends up with 9 more there.
And you talked about it, you know, where is he getting the ball? He's getting it between the tackles. I mean, he's running right up here all his yards. They are not trying to get wide. And, you know, you said break tackles, and that's what he's doing. He's keeping those feet running. You get 100 yards in between the tackles. That is power football. That's really Michigan football and what they're trying to get back to in this offense.
122 on the day for Biakabatuka, maybe on his way to a career high. Said earlier this year against Memphis. Here he comes the other way. Back. Broke one tackle, and he's out near the 33 before Tim Sharp, the linebacker, can track him down. Out of Quebec, Timanga Biakabatuka.
Red, here's the 8th man right here. That strong safety cheating up on this play, getting into the box as the guy goes in motion. Northwestern is cheating their 8th man. Bennett, their great free safety, number 20, cheating up at the snap. They are trying to get 8, sometimes 9 men close to the line of scrimmage. When I watched the Miami film last week, Miami of Ohio had 9 men at the line of scrimmage all game, and they were daring Greasy to throw the ball.
First down for Michigan on its own 34-yard line. Here's Greasy off play action. Throws the out to Hayes. Hayes stops and goes and got it out for another first down to pick up 13 as we check in with Mike Tirico. Mike.
Battle of Big 8 unbeaten. Special start for the special teams of Kansas. After a field goal, Andy Mitchell's punt is blocked by Spencer Bonner. Manolito Jones takes it 30 yards. Kansas missed the extra point, led 9-0. Ensuing drive, John Hessler, 59 yards to Ray Caruth, 16 points in 6 minutes. Kansas the early lead.
Ray just a little bit open on that one. Another first down, back-to-back first downs for Michigan. Clarence Williams checks in the backfield for the Wolverines, and on the counter he goes down for a big loss. Fitzgerald must have come untouched because he almost got the handoff.
Same game plan they used against Air Force. In the first half, Fitzgerald played it very honest. In the second half, run stunts. He was coming that time no matter if it was a run or a pass. Getting into that backfield, this time he came behind the pulling guard and made the play in the backfield. Fitzgerald, the middle linebacker, is going to try to get into the backfield and cause some minus yardage.
Last year was Hugh Williams in that middle linebacker spot. Pat's fitting the bill now as he has 5 tackles on the day. And a loss of 4. Second down at 14. Biakabatuka back in the Michigan backfield. Here comes a corner blitz. Biakabatuka into the secondary. Here he goes again. Give him about 20 more before they can track him down. William Bennett trips him up.
You called it. Ishmaeli came off the corner. It was a nickel blitz that time, but let's credit the offensive line. John Jansen, the freshman, number 77. Marinaro, number 73. Biakabatuka is running in space. When he runs in space, there's not a lot of linebackers or secondary people that are going to make clean hits on him. His feet are going faster than anybody else on the field.
First down, the 38. Here he goes again. Biakabatuka down to the 32-yard line. And that might put him on a new career high, that carry. He had 145 in the season opener. Comes up holding his left elbow a little bit, or his left hand, and says, give me a breather. So he'll shake that hand as he comes to the Michigan sideline. But he'll do so, I believe, with a new career high in rushing.
Facing him is Clarence Williams, their true freshman running back that they're really excited about here also.
He had over 50 yards on the ground last week. To the backfield now to 2nd and 4 and gets the call, and that's why they're excited. Clarence Williams all the way to the 3-yard line.
Pretty nice to go to your backup and have him burst through there, and he looks just as good as your true guy. It's not Wheatley and Biakabatuka up front. Payne and Marinaro following 2 great blockers. Up the middle, he just creases his Payne, as good a center as you'll find in college football, blocking that time, and Williams is in the secondary before anybody in that Northwestern defense could even turn his head, and A true friend. How'd you like to be tackling that guy in high school last year?
Forget it. First and goal, Michigan. Tie game. Trying to change that to Wolverines. Williams hit at the line. Nice penetration by Sutter. And it'll be second and goal. This kid had a brilliant high school career, did Clarence Williams. Over about 3,500 yards and 47 touchdowns in high school.
Ron Vanderlyn is trying to find more phone signals right now to try to stop that. You got some guys going in, some guys going out.
He kind of hopes Michigan will bunt here. That's what he's hoping for. Williams. And Sutter makes the stop again. Well, the goal line stands have worked for Northwestern a couple of times today.
Right now, I can just see Gary Moeller at home watching this game saying, that's why I used to like to pass on second down. Very good play-action pass down is second down. This time this play is stuffed inside. Fitzgerald does a nice job of getting in there, and Sutter comes and cleans up on the inside. William Bennett, number 20, is in there to help.
Third and goal at the 3. And 3 tight ends for Michigan. Northwestern hasn't given up anything in the third quarter, but they had that stat for first quarter, too, and Michigan changed it. Greasy on a bootleg. Might keep it. To the end zone, touchdown. The 7-yard line on the bootleg. Brian Greasy made up his mind, and he's in the end zone on a 3-yard score.
You called it great coverage from Northwestern this time. Stop it right here, everybody. Look at that. This is good coverage by Northwestern. They're in position. Let her run. Greasy just squirts underneath it between the linebackers and everyone, and I really thought that was great defense. And Greasy did the only thing he could do, squirt into the end zone for the touchdown.
Extra point coming up. First touchdown of the game, and Hamilton's extra point is good with 8 minutes and 2 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Brian Greasy puts the Michigan Wolverines in front by a touchdown. .8:02 to go, third quarter. Brian Greasy's given Michigan the lead by a touchdown, 13-6. Healy set the kick away for the Wolverines. Shorter kick and high. Beasley's going to have to hustle, and he dropped it. Michigan may cover it. They've got it. Beasley ran for all he was worth and just couldn't get to that ball.
He needed help on this play. One of those front blockers needed to grab that ball. Beasley was running as hard as he could to get there. You called it, and he just could not get. The ball was dying. This ball was kicked into the wind, and I had just commented to you during the break that the wind had picked up and looked at, and that ball just died at his feet. Had a couple of the front people turn away from it, and Beasley could never get back on the football, and Michigan's got it on the 22-yard line.
Thomas Mondre will cover this miscue by Beasley. Comes at the 23-yard line. After the first touchdown of the day by Michigan, one play later they get a break, and turnovers are even, but the scoreboard's not anymore.
And it looks like Northwestern's in a blitz situation. Let's see if they go up top on it.
Hayes and Schumer to the bottom of the screen. Greasy off play action, wants it all on the first pass. It's Hayes. Can't quite handle it. Nice job defensively by Chris Martin, who got a hand on it.
The Northwestern secondary has been impressive in this football game. You've seen all types of passes, corners, posts, throwbacks, and they have stayed honest in this game. Little ball action fake. You could almost feel a play action pass going into the end zone. I thought the ball sailed just a little bit to the corner, and it was an air a bit too long that time, but it was in a position where just his man could get it and no one else. And it's nice to be 2nd and 10 sometimes when they have good coverage.
Ron Vanderlyn, the defensive coordinator of Northwestern, asking a lot of his troops. They've been out there a long time with a 3 wide out for Greasy. They'll go with the draw. Biakabatuka broke a tackle inside the 10. Flags down as Biakabatuka scores. But it might come back on a holding call. 23 yards, touchdown if it stays up. I don't think so. Holding Michigan.
The hold was right at the line of scrimmage. Just as the blitz was taken off, I think the left side of the line, there was a grab right there, and that really is what opened up the play, because The Wildcats came with an 8-man blitz that time. The left side of the line of scrimmage. I think it's Runyon. You really can't tell inside. It looks like they're going to call Riemersma. Number 16.
Riemersma on Sutter, who almost made the tackle. So instead of a touchdown, it's backed up to second down and about 14 back at the 26-yard line. Lloyd Carr not too happy with that call.
I think he's more upset with Riemersma on that play than he was with the call.
Chris Floyd, the fullback, is the single setback right now for Michigan. Michigan fullback hasn't carried the ball yet today. And we've got a timeout with 7 minutes and 50 seconds remaining third quarter, and Michigan leading Northwestern by 7. Michigan had a touchdown taken away on a holding call, and now find themselves backed up second down and 13 at the Northwestern 26. Biaka Batuka. He'll go straight up the middle this time. Got to the 20, that's it. Bennett from the secondary along with Fitzgerald and Daly in on the tackle. And it brings up third down and long. Can Northwestern stop Michigan again and force a field goal? All day long they've been fighting that uphill battle, it seems.
It has started to rain here again, or at least it's misting in this football field. You can see it from up here. The front has really moved in.
Schumer has 2 catches today. Mercury Hayes has 4. Greasy's looking for Hayes. Right off the number 9.
Well, can't throw it any better than that.
Would have been a first down, too. Martin was covering.
Martin has done an outstanding job on this play. You see Kit Cartwright, the quarterback coach, telling Brian he did it absolutely perfectly. He threw it low to the outside, and it appeared that Hayes' feet came out from under him, but good coverage. And the Northwestern defense stiffened with the benefit of the holding penalty from Jay Riemersma on that draw play.
Forces Hamilton to try another field goal. Perfect today, 41-21. This will be from 37 yards away. Riemersma to hold. Kick, no. Pushed it to the left. And now Northwestern really gets a break. They gave Michigan a golden opportunity, and it turned bronze on them, and they missed it. So it remains 13-6. Let's check in with Mike Tirico.
All right, Brad, the score has changed in Happy Valley. Remember, it was 21-10 Ohio State. John Whitman scored. They go for 2 and make it. Now Wally Richardson just puts one up for Bobby Engram, who's battling Ty Howard, the Ohio State DB. Engram wins the battle, and then a couple plays later, it is Whitman again, this time eluding the tackle, getting into the end zone, and State leads by 4.
Even another one of those Whitman samplers. 13-6 Michigan. Schnur off play action. Winds it and goes to Beasley out to the 35-yard line. Complete for first down, a pickup of 15.
Brad, let's go back to Brian Greasy's touchdown. Now with the mixed field goal, once he in, we both looked at each other. The referee signaled, but watch. Knees are down right here. Let's freeze it. Right as his knees go down, his head isn't even across the line. And that was a third down play. He did not score on this. Michigan got a very good call on this play. You saw the official. He didn't know what to do as he comes into the screen. And now with the missed field goal, it really turns out to be a huge play.
First down at the 36, Beasley's first catch of the day. And now back to Autry. He hasn't been able to break one today, but he's got one here. Autry for about 16. First time he's been able to cut loose. Steve King brought him down, but Darnell Autry finally gets a big gainer.
That Northwestern defense, that stop after the field goal, has turned on this Northwestern offense, I believe. For the first time, Gerald Irons, number 37, finally got blocked. They got the wide receivers in somebody's face. If you give some room to Darnell Autry, he's going to run the ball.
Adrian?
Guys, keep your eye on Darnell Autry and take a look at the turf here, too. He was complaining before the game, if this gets wet, it's just long enough where it's slippery enough. It absorbs the water pretty well, but he and Schnur and Bates do not like how slippery this turf can get. Watch him as he stutter steps to the line. He isn't going 100%.
They've been pumping water off this PAT turf all week. It's rained a lot in this part of the country, as it has in much of the country, thanks to Hurricane Opal, and it's a little bit slick down there. And, there's a lot of different ways to dry a field, and this is one of them. No, we're not doing traffic reports. This is what they brought in yesterday. here at Michigan Stadium in Ann Arbor just to try to get some of the excess water out of here.
You know, when you had 100,000 fans here, you got money to bring in a helicopter and drive the field.
That's right.
Either that or they're chasing Marshall Falk still from that commercial.
Can't stop him. Second down at 7. 6:07 left third quarter. And a 7-point difference. Northwestern trying to even things up. Nice play fake by Schnurr. Bates, home run ball, overshot it. Bates was out there one-on-one with Woodson. That ball was not thrown where he could catch it, and Schnurr ends up on his backside again.
Charles Woodson is going to be a star for Michigan someday. Number 2, true freshman, out there on the corner. He's playing in Ty Law's spot out there.
He's got Ty Law written all over him, if you ask me.
He's faster than Ty Law. Now, that's hard to believe. Ty Law was a very quick football player, and I think Woodson has got a little bit more speed. When you can line up as a true freshman and cover people one-on-one like that, it makes a good football player. They've got a special player here.
4th and 3rd and 7, Northwestern. Look out. Schnurr got it away somehow. He got a first down toss. Unbelievably, he just got level. Waterman made the catch, moved the sticks. Schnurr smiling about it.
Trent Sakewitz got a takedown right here, number 76. He beats his man free. Rob Johnson is just going to drag him down right there. That is a takedown right there. And Schnurr right in the face of somebody. When you're able to deliver the ball, and Jason Horn, number 94, is coming right at your chest, and you make a completion, that's great quarterbacking.
Horn digging in. First down, Northwestern to Michigan 30. Autry, long handoff. Wait for his blockers. And he's starting now to get it going a little bit. 7 yards that time before Jared Irons can make the stop. This is the best series so far for Darnell Autry. He's up to 62 yards on the day.
We talked about Mark Hardle, the fullback. Jason Horn's been getting blocked by the center this time. The center, Johnson's going to leave Horn from the right side of the screen. Here comes Hardle. Tough playing nose guard in football. You got your center blocking your 2 guards, and now the fullback comes in and takes your knees out.
7th play of the Northwestern drive. On a 2nd and 3, it's Autry again, broke a tackle, and he's got a first down at the 17-yard line. Rob Sweat trying to trip him up. Autry starting to get the gears going a little bit.
And that really is the key for Darnell Autry, is yards he makes after the first guy touches him. He's been effective in past games. In this game now, he's just starting to establish the ability to break that first tackle and gain extra yards. And, you know, he's a workhorse. He carries the ball a lot for this football team. He gets better as the game goes on. He's got 18 carries, 68 yards so far.
First down at the 17 of Michigan. Autry again. This time, maybe 2. That's about it. Got it down to the 15. Down to 4.5 minutes in the third quarter. 13-6, Michigan in front. Last week, Darnell Autry had 162 yards in the game against Indiana. He had 104 yards after being hit initially. That's what Gary was talking about. He bounces off people. Numbers today.
See, only 28 today. He's got to make people miss.
Blitz coming. Schnurr to the end zone. Bates just couldn't quite get up high enough for it.
Well, when Schnurr makes up his mind to throw the ball, he can deliver it in a hurry and get it there between the zone that time.
Elston came on the blitz from his linebacker position. Maybe got into space a little bit.
You'll see it. Elston's coming from the left side of your screen, but he delivers that ball right there in the zone. Ball sailed on him just a bit. If that had been about 6 inches less, Woodson is always in the picture when that ball is in the picture when he's playing man-to-man. But that was a catchable play. The ball was thrown slightly lower.
Third down and 8.
No matter what, though, they've taken time off the clock, and they've helped their defense.
Michigan faithful with a play clock winding down to the last instant. Schnurr to the end zone. And he overshot everybody. And he had Zenkowitz in his face, and he had Marcus Ray, the safety, coming on a blitz in his face.
He overshot everybody on purpose that time. He wanted to go to the outside, but Woodson again had his man blanketed. He just had to toss it out of the back of the end zone and stay in field goal position.
And leave it up to a field goal kicker who hasn't missed in the last 9 tries. It'll be a 32-yarder for Sam Valancizi, senior out of Westlake, Ohio.
Remember his last one was very low.
From 32. Just tucked that one in as well. So Valancizi's got all the Northwestern points. They had a pretty good-looking drive, and as Gary said, they used a lot of clock to get down there. 3 minutes, 48 seconds remaining third quarter, and Northwestern's cut the Michigan lead down to 4. Well, more football coming up tomorrow, this time pro football variety. As Boomer and the boys take a look at Troy Aikman, aching for perfection. Michael Westbrook, the educating of a great rookie for the Redskins. And Robert Smith, it's been a long, strange trip for the Vikings running back. 11:45 a.m. sharp tomorrow. Gary Barnett is Northwestern Wildcats ranked 25th in the country. First time they've been 3-1 since 1963.
When we talked to him yesterday, I asked him, Gary, are you better or do you just think you're better and your players think you're better? And he said, you know, both.
Yep.
Because we are a better football team, and just as importantly, our guys, especially our seniors, think that we can beat and get on the field and win a football game. I don't have to talk them into anything anymore.
Valancizi been a main ingredient today for Northwestern. So is this young man, Mercury Hayes, back deep with Amani Toomer. Both capable of taking it coast to coast on any given kickoff return. This one will go to Toomer at the 7. And a nice stop on the special teams. Tim Sharp makes the tackle and stops Michigan before they can get out to the 20-yard line. Let's check in with Mike Tirico. Michael.
Brad, if Texas Tech has any hopes of winning the final Southwest Conference Championship, they really have to beat A&M today. Down 7-0 after a Leland McElroy run. Zebby Lethbridge, 26 yards for Danny Hart. All tied 7-7, A&M and Texas Tech.
From the Southwest to the Big Ten, Michigan leading Northwestern 13-9. 3 wideouts for Greasy on 1st and 10. Gives it off to Biakabatuka. Sharp, who just made the tackle on the special teams, comes up with a nice open field stop on Biakabatuka on that little quick opening draw.
Last try for Northwestern. The key, I think, 11 plays right here. It's the first time that defensive unit on the field was able to get a little bit of a rest. They're going to come out. They had a big stop after the kickoff. Remember, they were out there for 2 straight series. They got the stop, the missed field goal, and then their offense gave them some time to get a breather. They should be fresh for this drive.
Second down at 7 on the 21. Biakabatuka broke 1 tackle and then ran into Sharp again. Sharp's made 3 straight tackles. Coming up later in the game, we'll be selecting the Kelly Springfield players of the game. This one has less than 3 minutes to go, third quarter.
You know what's interesting when you look across at the Northwestern linebackers, they have a senior, a junior, and a junior, but they're all true players. They have not had a redshirt. When you come to Northwestern, you're a good football player. You get a chance to play, and you get a chance to play early. Now they're gaining some experience. They're used to Big Ten football. They're starting to pay dividends for Gary Barnett.
Sharp 3 straight tackles and 6 for the game. Third down, a long 3. Some motion. Looked like Remersman maybe got a head start on the right side for Michigan. And if so, it'll be third down and 8. Let's see what the call is.
Prior to the snap, ball starts, offense, 5-yard penalty. Repeat, third down.
I think the offense might have moved because of the confusion with the Northwestern defense. Ishmaeli and Fitzgerald are moving guys around. Sharp is saying go and move around. Nobody really knew where to line up. Fitzgerald just says, stay right there, don't move.
Well, it's a third and 8 now. Here comes the corner blitz again. It's picked up. Greasy has time. Incomplete, intended for Toomer. How about the job Chris Martin's done today?
Boy, I'll tell you, he was right there and made the play, but I think as he knocked it down with his left hand, he had his right hand on Toomer's back that time. But
forces a punt.
If you get away with it, it's a good play. And this time he was right there. The ball is thrown from Greasy. Hangs just a bit. And if he did lay it on his back, it came off just in time to get out and touch the ball. Good defense.
Northwestern 10 up, trying to get some pressure on DeLong, the far high snap. The left footer does not get a good kick at all. Dusso is going to let it go. It's about the only thing he could do. That ball had too many weird bounces going on.
That's a tough combination. High snap, low punt.
That's right. And Northwestern gets it back, trailing by only 4 points. 1:56 left in the third quarter. Mario Lemieux is back. So is hockey on ESPN 2, and so is the great one, Wayne Gretzky. Twin bill coming up tonight on the Deuce. Here in college football, Michigan leads 13-9, but a precarious lead it is with 1:56 left third quarter. And remember that last series for Northwestern, Darnell Autry finally got the wheels turning a little bit out of the Wildcat backfield. This time behind his right guard, he only got about a yard. Let's check in with Mike Tirico. Mike.
Brad, Kansas did score a lot on special teams. Colorado came back to take a 14-9 lead, but Jayhawks marched right down the field. L.T. Levine closing out a 10-play, 80-yard drive in 2 minutes. Kansas leads in Boulder by 2.
Well, he's been waiting all season so far to see how good Kansas is. They're finding out today. And Northwestern and Michigan have both, as Gary said earlier, been trying to figure out how good are we. They're finding out right here, the big house today, 13-9. Final minute and 20 of the third. Schnurr watched it throw and hit Jared Irons right in the butt with that one. Intended for Autry. That's good coverage when you can knock one down with your right hamstring.
Yeah, you're right. Tried to go to Autry the whole way this time, and Irons had him the whole way. Had no one to throw to you. We say we've been shadowing him all game. That's good coverage from a linebacker. He knew he had a safety held deep, so he just ran underneath the short yardage, and he got a little, as you say it, a little touchdown.
Third down and a long 8.
Schnurr did a good job of getting rid of the ball and avoiding the snack down.
Schnurr, 50% of his third down conversion tosses today. Here comes another one. Third and long. Throws. Oh, boy, that was dangerous. Penalty marker flies in late. Penalty markers at the very end of the play. Was it maybe a legal man downfield?
No doubt about it. It was going to be a shovel pass to Autry early, and there was a man in between the pitch, and he had to wait. Let me show you as he comes out of the backfield right here. He drops back. He's going to pitch it with his left hand, but there's someone standing right there. It's Jason Horn, so he says, I got to wait. And then once you throw the ball late, everybody else thinks it's going to be a quick pass. The linemen get downfield. I'm sure Michigan will decline it.
There's the call. Two penalties, both on Northwestern. Offensive interference and illegal man downfield.
Both penalties are declined.
I was good.
4th down.
I don't care if they call 4 on them. They're going to turn them down.
I was going to say they're going to decline them. If they have 4 of them, they're going to decline them.
The 5th 3 and out of the day for Northwestern. Not exactly what they were looking for. And there's what Paul Burton did with his last kick as he blasted one in the direction of Toomer. Little motion from Northwestern on their punt. Burton steps up and then kicks one. And Toomer's got to let this one go. Takes the Northwestern roll down to the 17-yard line. 45-yard kick for Burton with 57 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Still 13-9 Michigan.
Michigan is still insisting on trying to run that ball between the tackles, but it appears that the Northwestern defense has caught their wind a bit in the second half, and they've been filing it up pretty good. I think they need to go down the field. Hayes and Toomer are two of the best deep ball receivers I've seen in college football. I'd like to see them throw one up in the air and see if Toomer or Hayes could run under one. They're just so outstanding when that ball's thrown deep.
Worst starting field position of the day for the Wolverines at the 17-yard line. Ryan Greasy with time. Crossing pattern. Not much of a game, though. Went to the tight end, Tooman. His first catch of the afternoon. Picked up only 3 yards as we check in with Adrian Carson.
Brad, behind the Northwestern defensive bench, Coach Vanderlyn had told his guys as they came out on the field for this series, look, this game is going to come down to an opportunity taken on a turnover and a situation like that. So go out and make your opportunities, make your chances happen. Don't wait for them.
Pick up a 4. There's been a couple opportunities on a drop kick return and a drop punt today. Here's Reamer's Mo with Fitzgerald draped all over him. 5th catch of the day for the Michigan tight end will bring the quarter down to a close, and it will have the Wolverines with a 3rd down and a long yard coming up to start the 4th quarter. We've played 3 from Michigan Stadium in Ann Arbor, and about 105,000 might be in a little bit of shock that their team is in front, but by only 4 points. We start the 4th quarter with Michigan leading by 4 and facing a 3rd down and a yard. The 26-yard line. Blitz coming. The give. The Akabatuka enough for the 1st down. Barely, but he made it. Daly made the tackle. Collier comes out of there with football after it was blown dead. I believe he got the 1st. Yes, he did. Now they signal it.
You're right. It was barely, though. Very precarious 4-point game with a whole quarter to go, with a team who you feel like an underdog. It's getting a little bit more mist on the field.
Maybe I rushed to judgment, Gary, as they say in the court.
Yeah, let's...
Nope, no sidebar needed. 1st down.
Got it.
And you see the rain starting to come down over Ann Arbor.
Offensive coordinator Fred Jackson. Gary Moeller was the past offensive coordinator of this football team. Fred Jackson was put in charge. The marching orders from Lloyd Carr. I want to be tougher on offense. I want to keep our defense out of bad situations. Run the ball.
The guy who's got playing quarterback is the guy, Brian Greasy, who says he just loves talking football with. Here he comes off play action. High throw intercepted. Collier's got it. Collier comes near side on the pick, and he goes out of bounds at the 32-yard line. 2nd turnover of the day, and as Adrian said, maybe a turnover will be the difference.
They tried to get a curl route to his outside receiver, Toomer, on that play, and I don't think it was an accurate throw. I thought Toomer was open on the play. Play action pass, he throws it in rhythm, and I thought, exactly, that ball was thrown off target. It wasn't a bad read, because you saw Monty Toomer start to dive for that football. That ball was a lane to throw the ball, and Greasy did not make a good throw on the play and caused an interception.
So Greasy's first miscue gives Northwestern the ball.
It's interesting, both of his 4 throws of the day have been to Toomer on passes that could have been to Greasy.
Bates in motion.
Double pass.
Bates wants to throw and goes down the middle of the tight end. He's got it at the 5-yard line. It's Darren Drexler. 26 yards. Bates lays it out there, and the big fella with his 2nd catch of the day. And both of them been for 26 yards.
Boy, you know he's been saving that one. Greg Myers, offensive coordinator, all game. When can I use our trick play? This time, I've got it. Remember, Bates came as a quarterback. Recruited as a quarterback, moved to wide receiver, made the throw. It wasn't the prettiest of pass, but it was prettier than the one thrown by Michigan just a play before.
Well, it sets up shop for the Wildcats with a chance to take the lead. 1st and goal at the Michigan 5. Now you got the number 2 rusher in the country. You give him the ball, don't you? But he doesn't get anything. No gain on the play.
Well, the most important thing, I think, is not who gets the ball right here, but who's blocking for him right here. They have not been able to run the ball between the tackles. Right side of that offensive line, Kevin, inside, no movement at all. They even had Hardo in there, and Horn and Zakowicz inside have been able to stop the run all game. Rick Madison loves the way those 2 fifth-year seniors are stepping up. The only 2 seniors on the defense have been just stuffing them inside.
2 tight ends set. Graham and Drexler. The lone wideout is Bates, who threw the pass that got him down here. 2nd and goal at the 5. A sprint draw to Autry, who cuts it up. Got a couple, but that's it. Maybe inside the 3. Rob Sweat made the first contact. And it's 3rd and goal.
And 3rd and goal, and close enough to really either run the ball or throw the ball with a play-action pass right now. And either, if they do not make it, I think you just kick the field goal and make it a one-point game.
I was going to say, I don't want to look 2 plays ahead, but what do you think?
No, but as a coach, I guarantee you Gary Barnett is thinking 2 plays ahead. And he's saying, unless it's a quarter of an inch, we're just going to make it a one-point game.
Obviously a huge third down for both groups. Third and goal at the 2, Northwestern.
I'm going to run the ball.
Play action. Open is Hartle. Touchdown. Matt Hartle, the fullback. And Northwestern lead.
And Hartle's legs came out from under him on the play. He was very fortunate. A touchdown on a play action pass. They could go either way. Gary Barnett says we're going to try to upset him using all our plays. They had the double pass. They come back here with a little play action pass to the weak side of the formation. They slip the fullback in there, out to the outside, wide open, and Hartle comes up with a big catch.
Alex Seizing in for the point after. They'll go for the 3-point cushion here. And it's up and good. And a penalty marker, wait a minute, on the play.
Don't you feel every Notre Dame fan in the country saying, hey,
we've been there.
We like this.
Yeah. Long discussion with the officials. The extra point was good.
With dead ball, personal foul on the offense. After the point is good. Enforcement on the kickoff.
Post-play foul, and they're going to have to kick off deep in their own territory. But Steve Schnurr pulled the trigger to his fullback for the touchdown and the Northwestern lead.
ESPN's presentation of college football is brought to you by Outback Steakhouse. No rolls, just right. And by Red Dog Beer. Bold yet smooth, unusually easy to drink. You are your own dog.
Well, there's the big dog right now on the Northwestern campus. Hartle, the fullback. Sophomore out of Denver with a touchdown catch set up by a double pass, a flea flicker of sorts with Bates doing the honors here.
Remember, Bates was recruited. As he goes in motion, it's a ladder on the first play. He was a quarterback in high school, comes back in, throws the ball down the middle of the field, and that's really what set up the touchdown. 3 plays later, they score on a little bootleg play. And they're in a game, and Michigan's in a fight for their life.
They have to kick off the 20 because of the personal foul penalty after the extra point. Toomer takes at the 18-yard line. And Toomer battles his way out near the 40. So what Michigan needed was good field position. They've got it. We'll check it after we check in with Mike Tirico.
Ohio State has come back, Brad, driving some 70 yards. An Eddie George 6-yard run with 1:42 left. Put the Buckeyes up. Penn State's trying to answer right now in the final minutes there. It's over in Chapel Hill. Leon Johnson scored with 6 minutes left. The defense makes it stand. Virginia loses for the second time.
Virginia's only previous loss, their opener to the Blue and Maize of Michigan. And Michigan now not having lost all year, and their unblemished record's in danger. They trail 16-13. Biakabatuka, not much, maybe 2. Lazowski in on the tackle along with Fitzgerald, the middle linebacker. Well, Northwestern 10 points off Michigan turnovers. Darnell Autry's been held in check, but has started to get it going here in the late stages of the ball game. Remember that missed 31-yard field goal by Remy Hamilton? That looks very large right now. Biakabatuka has been the workhorse, a career-high day.
How about the holding penalty, too, on a touchdown by Biakabatuka?
That's right. Second down and 8. Tim's got a little bit of grass and mud on the helmet. They fake it to him. Greasy sets up. Wanted a long ball, and now he comes out on the scramble. And he's got a first down at the 49 of Northwestern. 10 yards on the scramble for Greasy, and everybody says he's the one that is not too nimble of foot between he and Dreisbach. He looked pretty adept at the scramble there. Let's check in with Adrian Karsten.
Brad, behind the Wolverine bench, I really get the impression there's an element that Michigan is losing here as far as losing the game is concerned. Remember what Lloyd Carr told us yesterday? One of the signatures he wanted to leave on this team was senior leadership. None of these guys, none of the seniors on this time are up behind the bench or you know, trying to charge these guys on. It's the guys on the field trying to do the job, but no leadership really from the seniors on the bench right now.
The only problem is, just as Adrian is doing that report, it looked like Zankowicz is the guy that came up in there and got in everybody's face.
I think he heard you say that about that report. And Zankowicz, the senior, number 76, the fifth-year senior, just got in everybody's face and said, we have to win this game. So, Adrian, you read it just about the same way Zankowicz read it at the same time.
Well, they're getting in my face a little bit.
Zankowicz just said, you see that big, tall, blonde guy who, what he just said? 2nd down and 10 coming up for Michigan. 11:31 remaining in the ball game. Hayes, Toomer, along with Richards, the 3 wideouts. Blitz coming. And Biakatuga broke the tackle of the blitz by Ismaili. And he got it to the 46-yard line. It's still going to be 3rd down and 7. Gary Barnett never made a trip into Michigan Stadium before today, or actually the walkthrough yesterday.
Yeah, it's a little different with people.
The 104,642 does tend to make a difference.
You know, but everywhere I go, and I played here as a collegian, everyone wants to know what it was like to play here. And I can tell you, after 20,000 people, it doesn't make any difference. You still got to face people out there. I don't care if it's 20,000 or 80,000 or 100,000. It's a game.
3rd and 7, blitz coming on Greasy, and they get to him. The ball is loose, and Northwestern has covered it. Ismaili came on the blitz, and he's got the football. Turnovers the last 2 times by Michigan. And Northwestern's got it back in Wolverine territory.
I think number 51, Pat Fitzgerald, again, Ronnie Vanderlinden, the defensive coordinator, gambling, brings the blitz. Ismaili off the corner, number 51 up the middle. See if he doesn't swat it. There's number 3. Here comes number 51, Fitzgerald, as Greasy moves up. Fitzgerald gets his hands on the ball, and I'm not sure if it was Fitzgerald or the pile right in front of him that Greasy dropped the ball, and it just got there, and Ismaili covered it. Wow.
You know what Northwestern's thinking right now? They're thinking, let's give it to number 24 about 15 times on a drive. But the first problem is Jared Iron. He's not done yet. Loss of almost 5.
He's been shadowing them all game, and when he does it on the move, he's very hard to account for. This time he comes from behind the play. A slow-developing trap play, counter-trait type play, and Irons in the backfield. That slow play will not work. I think they need to run the corner with the slant play to the outside with Autry.
The shadow knows. Ryan Greasy hoping for another chance. 2nd and 14. Play action for Schnurr.
Got Bates
Going deep for Bates. And he's got it. All the way to the 5-yard line. Clarence Thompson trying to stay with him, but Schnurr hooks up with Bates 43 yards.
You know, Brad, it's one thing to run a good route, and this is the first time Bates has really gotten clean on a post route. But I have to really marvel at Schnurr. I mean, this ball is thrown into the wind, and he put it right on the money again. You got the guy open, a couple people chasing him, but that ball is put right on the money. And boy, down to the 6-yard line, and you can just feel the silence in this stadium right now.
Schnurr might look like a left fielder sometimes, winding up to throw that ball, but he got it to home plate right on the money. And now they'll use as much clock as they can. Down close, 1st and goal at the Michigan 6. Autry to the 4. Steve King from his safety spot made another tackle. And as Gary Barnett told Gary Danielson, Adrian Carson and I yesterday, what we will do every time we have the ball, we'll take that 25-second clock and we'll work it down till there's a second left before we snap it. They have done that with a great deal of success through 4 and now almost 4.5 quarters, and you know they're going to be doing it now.
But if they want to upset Michigan in this game with 9 minutes, a lot of time left in the game.
Can't pull the horns in all of
No, they have to score a touchdown here. They don't want 3 more points. That'll just make it a 6-point lead. They need a touchdown.
But you see that clock, and you see what they do with it. Just barely got that off. Play action. Schnurr. Going to throw it away. Tossed it out there for the ESPN side, and somebody in row 1, section Z, made the catch. It was Horn with the pressure.
Again, Schnurr making the correct play. He's been throwing, he's probably thrown 4 or 5 of these away all game and giving them a chance to line up again. and throw or run the ball again on the next down. He's had, I think, running the offense a perfect football in this game, perfect football game so far.
Remember, this started with Ismaili's fumble recovery, and then Schnur to Bates, and now Northwestern inside the 20. There's what they've done on the season end today. Well, they have 3rd and goal at the 4, and Gary Barnett says he'll take a timeout here. His team doesn't see him make that gesture. And it's Schnur to the corner for Waterman. Not quite. Woodson was covering.
I was wondering for one of those touchdown passes while the coach is calling a timeout.
He pulls his hands in real quick.
That's right, and then you throw the touchdown pass, you say, I'm sorry, coach. They had a chance on this. Tucson Waterman gets the ball is thrown with plenty of air. You see he has it. He just can't quite get there. And I thought he had a chance to catch the ball. It was thrown about 6 inches too far.
Valancizi has hit 3 for 3 today. Hasn't missed in his last 10 attempts. A funny angle from the right hash mark, but this could put Northwestern up by 6. He's got it. 8 minutes, 42 seconds remaining in what could be an upset. But it's only a 6-point difference, so don't count out the Wolverines. 8:42 left in the ball game. The scoreboard 19-13 Northwestern. Brad Nessler and Gary Danielson along with Adrian Carson back at the big house. If I look at that scoreboard and I'm a Northwestern fan, I'm a little worried.
Well, you're happy you're in the game. You know, now before you're thinking, let's just keep it close, can we win? And now you say, I want to win, and you see a 6-point game. You start to get worried. Michigan has only thrown in the second half, and we thought it was key for 22 yards passing in the second half. They've got to spring their great receivers open in the secondary.
Valancizi to kick. Amani Toomer going to let it go, and it goes out of bounds. So Michigan will start from the 35 as that one found its way out of bounds at about the 2-yard line. That last drive for Northwestern, remember, started with Ismaili's fumble recovery, and they went 44 yards to get the Valancizi field goal. Let's check in with Mike Tirico while we've got a chance. Mike?
Brad, could Ohio State make it stand? Last chance for Penn State, a 4th and 19. Wally Richardson loads up. Scott or Ingram, send them both down there. Well, Scott in the neighborhood, incomplete. Penn State loses to Ohio State by 3.
Ohio State in the nation's elite now with that victory over Penn State in Happy Valley. Here, Northwestern. Remember, only one blemish, kind of a fluke ending against Miami of Ohio. They're trying to go to 4-1 and pick off Michigan. Greasy again hit Mercury Hayes, but again, Mercury Hayes lost his footing, and that ball hit him right on the 9 again. He couldn't hold it.
See the emotions. When you're the favorite in a football game, you begin to press. You look up at the clock. And remember, if a Northwestern player is saying, oh, I hate to see that 6-point difference because you know if they scored a field goal. But when you're on the favorite team, you say, I got to press. I got to make a play. And it was a slick play by the receiver, Mercury Hayes.
They've aimed 10 balls Hayes' way today. He has 4 catches. Here comes the blitz again. And Williams goes down for a loss. Matt Rice from his defensive end spot. Nice open field tackle for him.
And Ronnie Vanderlyn told us that Matt Rice is a legitimate, great Big Ten football player, the best defensive lineman they've had since they've come to Northwestern, and he made a tremendous play on that one, playing off the block, keeping his feet, and throwing his body in to make the tackle.
Dad played at Wisconsin as a defensive end in the 60s. One of his grandpas, a running back linebacker at Ohio State. His other grandpa was a fullback at Marquette. I guess it's a good bloodline. Second, make it 3rd and 12. Greasy, plenty of time. Down the middle, almost intercepted twice, in fact. Fitzgerald had his hands on it, and then Rodney Ray got a mid on it as well. Incomplete, and Michigan's got to give it up.
Fitzgerald still has his hands on his head, knowing that that ball went right through his hands. He could not have had a simpler interception on the play, trying to throw the square in behind the linebacker, right through the middle linebacker's hands on that one. Could have been another turnover.
DeLong to punt. This is where you don't want to rough a punter if you're a special teams player. The left footer kicks away. Brian Musso will take it to 30. And Musso broke a couple of tackles. And he got about 11 on the return. On a 38-yard kick. 7:44 away from an upset is Northwestern. A few Wolverine heads are hanging on the sideline. Their team down 19-13, 7:44 left. ESPN Golf Tour takes you to the Senior PGA Circuit for the Trans-America Championship from the Silverado Country Club in Napa, California. Coverage starts at 4 Eastern following the Residents in College Football Scoreboard show. Lee Trevino is the defending champ, and he is only 1 stroke off the lead set by John Bland. Nothing bland about this football game, that's for sure. 19-13. Northwestern with a lead, the ball, and 7:44 left. 13 unanswered Northwestern points, and 13 of their points in this game have come off 3 Michigan turnovers. Autry. He wants to get what he can and stay in bounds. That's the key right now. Picked up about 3. Clarence Thompson came up from the corner to make the stop.
And that's really been the only successful running play they've been able to do. A stretch play, a slant play to the outside. Everybody gets a hat on a hat and let Autry run to the sideline. I would expect that Michigan would have to start bringing some people on the edges, some of their safety blitzes, linebacker blitzes, to try to hit that play right in the mouth.
Second down at 7 from the 44. Blitz coming on Schnurr. Throws it out to Bates, and he hit him right in the hands. Bates couldn't hold it. Nice job, though, covering by the freshman again, Charles Woodson. And it'll bring up 3rd down and 8.
Woodson's limping a little bit on the play. He covered the punt on the previous play, the kickoff on the previous play, and he was helped off the field, but he came right back out, and he's playing man-to-man coverage out there on the corner.
Steve Schnurr has only hit 2 of his last 9 passes.
But they were 2 big ones.
Yes, they were. And I doubt that he's going to get too fancy here. 3rd down along 7. Here comes the blitz. Schnurr throwing for his life. A big loss coming up. He got it to his tight end, who would have been better left to drop that thing.
Jason Hart did a great job of reading that little screen pass to the outside. He was right in the middle of it, and Schnurr turned around to throw it. The senior was standing right in the middle of the screen. He called it a safe play. He's lining up in defensive end. He comes inside, looks up, and he reads the tight end screen coming to the backside, and there he is, getting some help from Winters from the backside.
Punt coming up from Burton. He hit this one a mile in the air. Toomer clears everybody out with a fair catch taken at the 24-yard line. 6:22 left for Michigan to try to avoid an upset. Probably the biggest game Northwestern played in 30-some years. Gary Barnett brings his troops in against number 7 Michigan. What's it mean in this place?
This is why you play it. And this is the place to go play it. You know, there's 3 or 4 places that are revered in college football, and you get a chance to go play in one. And you know, I don't think I had to say that. I think they knew that, especially the older kids, of course. So we plan on winning this football game.
6 minutes and 22 seconds left in the plan. First down, Michigan. Biakabatuka got an avenue on the left side. It closed as Danny Sutter got a hand on the Michigan halfback and brings him down. And it's going to be less than 6 minutes left when they snap it again.
Well, you can see how this game is unfolded. You get 13 unanswered points. Things have to go wrong. And the things going wrong for Michigan right now is the fumble, an interception, and a 3-and-out. And that is what you can really force the other team and get back into the football game. Give credit to Northwestern, but Michigan has been struggling offensively.
Brian Reese has missed his last 4 passes. Draw play, Biakabatuka on his way to a 200-yard day and trying to keep his team in it. A check in with Mike Tirico.
Brad, this McDonald's breakaway to Fayetteville, Arkansas. Upset brewing all over the place. Arkansas's Barry Lunny, earlier a touchdown to Monterey Hill. He scrambles, and 53 yards later, Anthony Lucas has given the Hogs a 7-point lead over Tennessee.
Long way to go there, a short way to go here. Is this the day when everybody looks back and says that was the Saturday for 95? There always seems to be one. when teams that are supposed to win find a way not to. Here's Biakabatuka. He's trying to find a way to help the Wolverines win. He's over 200 yards on the ground. 202 for Tim Biakabatuka, career high.
He's following Chris Floyd, his fullback that time, who really had no one to block as the blitzing linebackers. Daly comes right into the backfield, and Biakabatuka still running between the tackles, effectively behind that Michigan offensive line. And they're going to call Michigan for an illegal substitution that time and give them a 5-yard penalty.
Well, I got to say that they're one of the teams in college football that this rule was instituted.
You got it. They put 12 people in the huddle, and they changed their personnel by a different person coming off late, and that confused the Northwestern defense, and a lot of the Big Ten coaches complain about it. Michigan will have 12 people in the huddle, and I think number 7, Chris Floyd, realizes he's the one that should not be in there right now, and he says, uh-oh, I'm going to run out. And that is tough on the defense. Hold it right there, guys. There he is. He's running out late, and he comes out, and they don't really know what to have.
3 wideouts. Richards, the third, is in motion. Here comes the blitz. And it's Williams, the freshman with fresh legs, and he goes down to the 48, maybe the 47-yard line of Northwestern before Bennett and Sutter make the hit, but we're down to 4.5 minutes left.
Ronnie Vanderlinden trying
He's
to...
not too into it, is he?
He's local from the Michigan area. Went to my high school, by the way, Dearborn Divine Child, and he knows coming into this area that, you know, an upset Michigan to make a career.
I spent some time with Coach Schembeckler upstairs before the game. He said, "Who's that Ronnie Vanderlinden out here? He's an old GA of mine."
That's right. Started here at Michigan.
Third down, a long yard. Williams has it to the 45, maybe even the 44-yard line. Matt Rice made the hit, but the freshman has got the first down, and now the crowd starting to come back into it. That's when 104,462 helps you out a little bit.
What else I like is Fred Jackson, the offensive coordinator for Michigan right now, is not panicking. He knows the strength of his football team is his offensive line. He's got a great tailback. Let's not panic. Run the ball. 5
straight runs on this drive. 6 straight. Biakabatuka, and he drags people with him that time. Casey Daly jumped on there like he was going to ride one of those mechanical bulls out in a Western bar someplace, and Biakabatuka just bucked him off.
Casey Daly, 6'4", 250 pounds, number 36. I thought he had a stop right here, but you see how Biakabatuka just throws him away, and he really rides him for 5 yards. You're right.
Second down and a long 6, down near the 3-minute mark. Michigan trying to come from behind to win. Biakabatuka on the right side, and he's got the wheel turning. It's stopped, though, by William Bennett, short of a first down. Bennett, the senior, who says, I've been waiting since I arrived in Evanston for a team this good, and I don't want the opportunity to pass me by.
William Bennett was a preseason All-Big Ten pick. He is the leader of that defense. He had a bad ankle earlier in the year. I asked him on the field today, are you ready? He said, I'm 100%.
He had to put 100% into that hit, or Biakabatuka would have gotten the first down. It's third down and less than 1.
Remember the first victory of the year, last play of the game against Virginia. It's going to come right down to the end.
3C, quarterback sneak, should have it. And that'll move the sticks again and momentarily stop the clock with 2:27 to go. First down, Wolverines. They started this drive at their own 25-yard line. With 6:22 to go, they've used 4 minutes to move it down inside the 34-yard line of Northwestern. There's the timeout situation. Michigan's got 2 left. Here comes a blitz on Greasy, who loads and goes long. Toomer can't quite get it in the corner. And both Toomer and Chris Martin run into the wall down there.
Again, excellent coverage for the 2 corners for Northwestern. The secondary for Northwestern has played an outstanding game. He had coverage and pushed Toomer to the sideline. There was no room to catch that. Look, there's only a yard, and it would have had to have been an absolute perfect pass. Greasy had to throw it to the outside. He couldn't challenge inside and force an interception.
You do have to give that secondary credit. Gary Brown is the new secondary coach at Northwestern, who came from the Minnesota Vikings after being in the NFL, and his troops have done a whale of a job back in the secondary for the Wildcats. Iacobatuka. Football's loose, covered by Michigan. John Runyon, the left tackle, covered the loose ball.
Well, I could hear hearts beating in the stands on that one. Everyone was so nervous about it. The ball was stuffed up front. Matt Rice does a good job of getting a stalemate. You can see Sutter coming from the outside. The ball is stripped, and Runyon says, I'll save it for another play, but it's 3rd and 15 now with 1:45 to go.
And a clock running, and Greasy's going to take a timeout. Michigan will have only one left. We'll take a timeout as well with 1:40 to play in the football game. Northwestern leads by 6. One minute, 40 seconds, and one timeout left for Michigan. And a 3rd down and a huge 15 await at the 39-yard line of Northwestern. Well, 2 plays left to get the 15, obviously. Two for 2 on 3rd downs on this drive. The Wolverines, they need a big one here. 3 wide out for Brian Greasy. Here comes a blitz from Ismaili, and he got him as he got rid of the football. Fitzgerald and Ismaili came flying in there, and Brian Greasy's trying to shake the cobwebs right now. It is 4th down.
You have to admire the courage of Ron Vanderlinden, the defensive coordinator. It was man-to-man, straight-up coverage. They came with everybody. They said, cover them, guys. There it is to the outside. They put their corners to the outside. They had Hayes doubled because the back stayed in the block, and Fitzgerald comes in and levels them. Oh. He has been in a space all game.
Last chance for Michigan. 4th and 15. They're going to bring it again. Greasy hit as he throws. It is intercepted by Bennett. Greasy still down. Fitzgerald hit him again. And Northwestern with 1:31 left. About set to do something they have been unable to do since the Cadillac had fins. 1959, the last time Northwestern has beaten Michigan at Ann Arbor.
And guess who? Number 51, man-to-man coverage in the secondary again. Not a great route by Mercury Hayes that time. Kind of rounded it off. You see the emotion from the bench. They know they just have to fall on the ball, and they're going to beat Notre Dame and Michigan in the same season.
And who could make that claim? I don't even know if I could think of a team right offhand that can make that statement. And Michigan, I believe it's Michigan that took the timeout. There we go. Now they straighten it out. The referee had signaled Northwestern. I know they're not going to stop the clock. Michigan's final timeout. Don't forget the Residents in College Football Scoreboard show follows us immediately after as number 5 Ohio State keeps rolling along. Top 25 scores and highlights, a Big Ten recap, and 2 huge games. Ohio State and Penn State and Northwestern and Michigan taking place today in a full schedule of action around the Midwest and around the country.
Back-to-back weeks for us, Brad. We go to Penn State and Michigan for back-to-back upsets.
That's something else. Our Kelly Springfield Tire Company players of the game. For Northwestern, Pat Fitzgerald, back-to-back hits on Greasy on that last series and 14 tackles overall. And from Michigan, Tim Iacobatuka, career-high 205 yards on the day. Kelly Springfield proud to donate $1,000 to each school's general scholarship fund on behalf of those athletes. As Gary Barnett talked about with us, the leadership of some of our elder statesmen, the seniors. How sweet must this be? And here's Autry now. And Autry cuts outside and finally breaks one. He wants to stay in bounds now, but he stepped out at the 48-yard line. His longest run of the day, 28 yards, and He's maybe going to end up with 100 again.
He started that run with both hands on the football, saying, I just want to get in the line and make sure it takes a little longer. They didn't want to punt in that situation. And all of a sudden, he breaks it outside in a free play. And Gary Barnett, if anybody can imagine the task he had going into Northwestern, where he has this football team.
Look at that. Like I said, if you can find yourself a 59 Cadillac convertible, you've got classic. And now the Northwestern fans have 2 classics in a single year. An upset of Notre Dame, and soon to be an upset of the Michigan Wolverines. Not only an upset of Michigan, but doing it in the Big House in Ann Arbor. 6th straight 100-yard game now for Darnell Autry, but he was not the story today. It was the Northwestern defense, quite frankly. Even though they gave up big yardage to Yakatuka, they also came up with some turnovers and what is going to be a huge win. And look at a happy group on the sideline.
It really is hard to put into words the amount of work they've had to put in this program. And he knocked off 2 huge upsets in college football this year.
A knee for Schnurr. And Schnurr, who came back from being banged up early in the game. Gary Barnett's 25th ranked Wildcats will move up in the national polls. They go to 4-1. They have beat the Michigan Wolverines in Ann Arbor.
And how about what he said to his players? I don't want any Gatorade. I don't want to be carried off. We think we can win the football game. Let's act like we expected to win.
He's still dry, and he's still on his feet. And boy, this Northwestern program is on its feet. Final score, Northwestern 19, Michigan 13 in an upset from the Big House. Let's send it to Mike Tirico. Michael?
All right, Brad. So not only has Northwestern won at Michigan and at Notre Dame,